All right, well, welcome, guys. Oh, I'm still kind of weirded out by the music setup that I've got at the start there. Big day today. It's the middle of May, and we have just had, as you can see from the floating green starburst here, the next patch. This is, for anyone watching way off in the future, this is the final patch for End of Dragons, which only really had 2 major patches. It's kind of unfair to think of it that way because they also did Living World Season 1, but in terms of like actual news story, this is the second one. And it's the last one they've confirmed, which means, combined with the news that they gave earlier in the year about the mini expansion setup, that really this hopefully will be a big patch that will talk a lot about demons and the mists and whatever the hell we're going to on the next mini X pack, which based on the timeline for the studio update that they gave, I've talked about this a bunch already online, but I genuinely think that we might see the next mini X pack this year. This is the last story patch. I mean, really, the last one was kind of a bit of a dud to me. It wasn't all bad, but it certainly had a mixed response from the rest of the community as well, I think. It really felt more like they split the patch in half. So we did get a new map. We had the Gyala Delve over here. And it looks fairly substantive, obviously, on the world map here. But, it was mostly... This patch felt like a kind of a Season 2-ish patch. It felt like, they'd added a new meta, essentially, to the game. And I know the world space is a lot larger than what we were getting in Season 2, like Dry Top, for example. But don't forget, we've got mounts now, so... content density is all different and so on. But yeah, so we are getting the continuation. This map's now been expanded. I believe this chunk is now available. The actual expansion on the world map is not the thing I'm most excited about. It's just the story and where we'll go, and hopefully a teaser. The best thing that we can... I may feel like a complete mug saying this out loud, to be honest, but I'll say it anyway. The best thing we could hope for from this release is a teaser trailer or some kind of concept showcase, something that hooks us into X-Pack 4. Which is really weird to say out loud, but yeah, the first mini X-Pack 4, that would be amazing. Now, again, speaking of Living World Season 2, if you remember in Living World Season 2, when we finished the Silver Waste stuff, we had a really cool tie-in to the first expansion, Heart of Thorns. It was really badass. I would love something like that. Who knows? The most recent communication we kind of had about all this stuff from the studio really gave us some very minimal looking concept art. They might have done that because the expansion's not very far along, or they might have done that because they're really trying to just hold off and then do some kind of big reveal. So who knows what will happen here. I think the patch has been out for, Christ, I don't know. It's been out for half an hour. I'm looking at the clock right now. It's been out for half an hour. I don't know if that means people have beaten it already. People probably have, just rushing through. I'm not going to rush through. I'm just going to take my time and just go through it blind. So that's really what this is. And fingers crossed it's good. Also, just while we're at it, I did grab some screenshots for you all of the patch notes. I've been doing a lot. I already mentioned this like a week and a bit ago on the last video I did. That I've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. Oh my god, the amount is extended to my PC now. I've got a nice clean open folder here with all my screenshots in it. So yeah, let's see. We are on the May 23rd release, and just to read, I already read this before I started streaming here, but what lies within? The last one was called What Lies Beneath. In the depths of the Gyala Delve, a lurking evil has poisoned the Jade Brotherhood and twisted the commander's memories against them. Twisted the commander's memories against them. That didn't really happen in the last patch, did it? I mean, it was messing with us, and it was giving us hallucinations and weird voices. I wouldn't have described the previous patch as that, so is that a bit of a hint already as to what's about to happen? Regroup with Rama, who was a major character last time, Yao, a major character last time, Taimi and Goric. And this is one of the things that I was kind of off about. I'm not going to be super whiny throughout this stream here. I'm genuinely really excited to see what happens. But there's very few characters in the previous one. Again, this is kind of what I meant by the fact that they've split a release in half, it feels like, sort of. Because, again, it seems we have the same cast here, really. What I really wanted from the previous release was a scene with Aurene. Okay, thank you, Ayumi, for talking very loudly over us, as she always does, screaming across the entirety of the Echo Wilds, even though we're nowhere near the meta area. Yeah, I feel like we needed a scene with Aurene, definitely. But what about all the other major characters here in End of Dragons? What about the people at Arborstone? The dragons at Arborstone, especially if you did the additional side quests? What about the Empress? in? What about a little bit more with June? Like, there's a lot of these things that just... I feel like they're just kind of dropping here. This is actually one of the things I'm sort of worried about a little bit with the announcement that we're doing mini X-Packs, encapsulated stories. If you think back to POF, there were a lot of really interesting things they introduced there, like Zafira. Zafira is the poster for this, to me. She was a really interesting character and then just vanished. And I think, if you guys remember, they also did that trailer that clearly was a repurposed mobile game trailer that had Zafira featured in it prominently. So I guess they had an idea to have Zafira in another game, like a mobile game or something, and then that got disabled and blah, 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 cancelled. So that might be why she's gone. But you can look at a lot of the characters around POF. They kind of haven't had roles for a while. Saida got a look in, at least in End of Dragons, with the Karnak airship stuff. But I feel like they build these really rich environments, and then because Living World episodes are so short, they don't really get to dive into them. And not just because Living World episodes are short, but because, you know, there's such an emphasis on voice acting and so on and so on and so on. And then we kind of rush on. Now, Icebridge Saga, I think, is actually the same. You look at Krisha, you look at Banger, you look at a lot of those characters. I feel like we just don't realise it yet, but they're kind of gone now as well. And now the End of Dragons ones, I kind of feel in a similar situation. I wanted scenes with these other people, and really it's just Rama, Yao, Taimi, and Goric. And here in the patch notes even, I was a bit disappointed to read this, I must be honest. Seems like it's the same crew again. I wouldn't be surprised if they wrote both patches at the exact same time, split them down the middle, they got all the voice talent in at the exact same time. This stuff might have been recorded last summer or whatever, and it is what it is, you know. I keep hearing a blobbing noise, which is weirding me out, but it's because I've got a fish tank next to me now. I got big time back into fish keeping, guys. I got a lot of stories for you. It's slightly low, the water level at the moment, and it's blobbing weirdly. All right, experience the conclusion to the story that began in What Lies Beneath. Finish the fight in the extended Giala Delve map. And that's another thing I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they've made the meta a little bit more captivating. I must be honest, you know, the previous patch isn't that old, to be honest, but I played it, and I did my streams of it and videos. I've barely been in there since, maybe a couple of times. I've done a few of the metas. I've probably done the meta 5 or 6 times lifetime. That's it. So I hope that they make it really exciting and captivating. It's difficult because this meta is in End of Dragons, and End of Dragons has the best meta map of all time. And I will say, I do believe this. Dragon's End. I think Dragon's End is amazing. From like an incentive to go and farm it again for currencies, to just the atmosphere and the cinematics and the dialogue and the mechanics. It's great. It's a really great meta. So the Giala Delve comes along afterwards and has to somehow compete with that. But the truth is, I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars lately, but mostly I've been in PvP. So I haven't really looked at the Giala Delve. I hope that this reinvigorates me for that. Anyway, sorry, I'm going too slow here, aren't I, really? Which now continues in the Jade Brotherhood's conclusive battle with the Ravenous Wanderer. So that was the demon creature we were introduced to very briefly at the end of the last patch, and then it moved on. I think, or it just ended. I think there's also these weird tentacle things in the cave, and there was a lot of really exciting speculation about how they look similar to things in the Realm of Torment and so on. I don't actually know whether I believe in any of that stuff. It may come true and be really intriguing, but and here's the thing that you can all... I think my opinions and my sensibilities and things have changed quite a lot over the years, but one thing I've always embodied is kind of not caring that much about visual storytelling, like in the environment. I don't look at signposts that closely. I don't look at props and random bits of art and stuff in the environment that much. I don't tend to think it means that much. And I think usually I've been sort of alright with that, in terms of I've ignored it and it's ended up ignorable. I don't know whether something more will happen with those tentacles, the kraken buried in the jade or whatever. We'll see. Enjoy a relaxing... Okay, so this was quite cool. I don't know whether all of this will get in this video. It might be nice to do another one where we look at this. But remember last release... Here, let me turn the image off here real quick. Do you remember last release they had... This is... Oh, God, I finished it. What? Oh, no, I didn't finish it. I think I have the filter on. No, I don't have the filter on. Did I finish it? Oh, yeah, I did. I vaguely remember doing that now. That was only a couple of weeks ago as well. They added a new achievement, this one. New Friends, New Adventures, where, like, they added a bit of new content to earlier End of Dragon stuff. Well, they didn't really. They just incentivized you to go back to those maps for this mini. It looks like they've done the same thing here again, and I think this is a 10 out of 10 idea. I think this is what all Living World releases of all time... And yeah, I'm still thinking of this as Living World in terms of scope and stuff. they all should have been doing. It should be a new patch, new story, new map, but some kind of carrot to go back to Queensdale, go back to Plains of Ashford, go back wherever you like. And they did, since this is an End of Dragons adjacent patch, they did it here for the End of Dragons stuff, and I really like this. So they say, enjoy a relaxing series of adventure activities. I don't know why they call it adventure activities, because adventures are distinct from activities, but fine, whatever. In Saitung Province, New Kaineng, Ekovald Wilds, and if your efforts in the map-wide meta events succeed, even explore a more peaceful Kiala Delve. So I think I saw some people in the Spud Discord talking about this. People were curious if I would like this or not, because I've had some opinions in the past about, like, peaceful states for meta events. I honestly can't remember what I've said about that before. So here I'll be wildly inconsistent, everyone. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so new adventures. I like this. This is really good. Boots especially will be happy. I don't really talk about the rest of the community very much. I don't really plug people. But to plug a friend here, Boots, if you guys haven't looked at his channel recently, he's got this adventure series, which I've had on in the background in the mornings while, you know, I drink a cup of tea, get ready for the day or whatever, where, because he's kind of got this very chill vibe, right, where he has these videos, he's going through every adventure in the game, and he's trying to get top 500 in all of them. It's funny, because the first one I watched, he was in the Super Adventure box, and he was talking about me a lot in it, because apparently I was top 500 on some Super Adventure box adventure. He was like, oh, I got to beat WP, I got to beat WP, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's a nice little series, and anyway, I'm sure he'll be excited here, because now there's some actual contemporary adventures for him to do on that. So check it out if you guys want. Alright, anyway, team up with a friend. Oh, look, it's a multiplayer adventure as well. Team up with a friend for 3 Siege Turtle target practice courses. That's brilliant. That's something I've wanted. You know, if you think of this as the end of Dragons, this patch is duty. And if you remember, right before the first half of Giala Delve came out, I said this. Giala Delve needs to do a lot of cool shit with the masteries in this expansion. It needs to do cool stuff with the turtle. It needs to do cool stuff with the skiff. It needs to do cool stuff with the jade bots. Arborstone, I'll give you a pass. But it has to, and fishing as well. Really, this is it, man. I mean, they might bring some of these masteries forwards into the new mini-X packs. I think that would be a brilliant way to go. But I don't know whether to trust that of the studio, because I don't know, you know, how many... especially when it comes to Living World, how many thermal lava vents have we seen in recent content, right? How many times have we ever sung the siren songs of awe since, you know, episode 6 of Living World season 3 or something? A lot of this stuff just ends up dead after it's over. So, you know, I would like to think fishing is in the next mini-X pack. I would really like that. But, you know, hopefully they do this stuff now. And here we are, we're at the end now. So, yeah, seeing some adventures that have multiplayer Siege Turtle interactions. I really liked reading this just a minute ago. Demonstrate your mastery of the Jade Bot. I mean, it's good, isn't it? And even the Roller Beetle. This is really good as well, okay? And I do think very highly of this. The Roller Beetle, as they say, bring your Roller Beetle back to its Canthan roots and down into the deep. It's thrilling downhill course spanning the Giala Delve. In the new map, there's a Roller Beetle race. That one we might see today. Which, yeah, you know, we tend to think of Roller Beetles and Cantha because for those who are super out of the loop, and by that I mean people who didn't play this franchise 15 years ago, what they did, they had a festival, and in the festival you could Roller Beetle race. That's where Roller Beetle racing really started. You would transform into the beetle, you'd go through. Obviously there wasn't a formal mount system as such in Guild Wars 1. There was kind of getting into Siege Turtles, in Siege Devourers, sorry, in either North, but generally speaking, and the Janundu from Nightfall. But yeah, so they had a race. It was kind of a Cantha thing. The Beetles themselves were more of a Nightfall thing, and people go endlessly back and forth on that. But whatever. Anyway, it's really... So I like this. This is a very cool part of the patch. Complete a series of collections. So unlock the new Special Ops armor set. A new armor set is very good. I'll actually give you guys a little insight into what I've been doing with my account. I'm kind of doing Guild Wars Master again. But I'm not, it's not a stream series. I feel like I got a lot of hate when I did that before. I feel like I lost a lot of favour with people, or people got really mad at it. I think because there's what I forgot, what I failed, especially back when I was doing it, that I failed to realise is there's a lot of like envy and like coveting and just odd to me. Guild Wars, I don't actually really care that deeply about money and stuff in Guild Wars at this point. I really don't. So when I was doing Guild Wars Master, it was just really an excuse to have content to do. But I think a lot of people got really weird about it. So I don't want to do a stream series on it. You know, when people would give me stuff, people would say, here's a Black Lion gift, and there's no way of returning it or whatever. That just ended up being the nature of the stream series. So I'm not streaming it. It's not a big project, but just privately, because I am a fan of the game, I am playing the game. I'm kind of trying to get to that point again where I have nearly everything unlocked. So just a real quick go into this. Obviously, with Black Lion chests, you can get guaranteed wardrobe weapon unlockers, just generic unlockers or armor unlockers. And what you want to do with your account, if you want to get everything, right, what you want to do is you want to buy up all the cheap stuff. If it only costs 20 silver on the TP, buy it on the TP, unlock it, right? If it costs a gold on the TP, buy it on the TP, unlock it. If it costs 5 gold, 10 gold, 15, 20, basically anything lower than, as far as I can see, about 40 gold, you want to buy and unlock yourself. Then you can start spending money on keys and start spamming automatic unlockers. And the game is to get all of the automatic unlocker stuff. Because now, every time you double-click an automatic unlocker, every time you double-click, it will give you something worth 800 gems. Or it will give you something worth 40 plus gold, you know. And in many cases, hundreds of gold, 200 gold, 300 gold, 400 gold, just for a double-click, right? But you have to manually go through and get all the cheap stuff first. Now, because I wasn't doing Master through most of the Icebreed Saga, through the year before End of Dragons, the End of Dragons year, I was so behind on this stuff. I had this done, basically. When I clicked preview, stuff that could come out, I had it done. Now look at how much stuff is left. It's crazy. It's filled up. All these new dyes have come into the game, because I used to have all the dyes. I don't have all the dyes anymore. All these dyes are worth, like, loads. I think one of these is worth, like, 800 gold or something. But if I just double-click an unlocker, I can get it now, and I save 800 gold. All these pets, they did some new pet series. I wasn't playing when these came out last year. Some of these are worth like hundreds of gold. Most of them are. And I know it looks like there's a bunch of unlocks here for me to get, right? It does look like there's a lot. But seriously, go in game. I invite you all now to, if you're watching in the future especially, pause this video, okay? Get on your account. Right-click the Black Lion chest preview. And then when you see an unlocker, right-click preview. And scroll. Just scroll. See what your account needs. Okay, this is actually pretty good. I don't need much anymore. I need these Black Lion sets. They're also, the Dokaibi stuff's so expensive. New Kaineng is so expensive. Hardlight stuff doesn't even have a collection. These War Machine things are only from beta participation in the World vs. World Alliance betas, none of which I've played, yet I have like 4 of these skins now. These are all gem store, all this armor stuff, gem store, gem store, gem store, gem store. Basically, I went through and I got all the End of Dragons stuff, except a couple of backpacks for Canuck coins. I need some of those. Yeah, I basically did a big catch up thing. And it's because I've just been relentlessly PvPing recently. I'm really into it. I'm having a lot of fun with Catalyst at the moment. There's still everything you might hate about the game mode. I mean, there's no real matchmaking. If you look, I get plus 15 for a win after a placement, and then minus 48, right, if you lose. Like, it's pretty bad. But, yeah, I'm having fun with it. I think, actually, I'm doing alright on NA at the moment. I'm top 15. But, yeah, it's money. That's why I'm doing it. Money. It's such good money. And, yeah, basically, I'll just get some of this, and then just go for the unlocks. But, yeah, anyway, alright, so why that ties into the patch notes here is because we have new armor, and I was wondering if the armor was on the list, but it doesn't look like it is, so whatever. What a tangent. That's me just bragging there. That's all that that's all that's become. To be honest, there were a lot of End of Dragons things I had to manually go through and unlock. There were a lot of armors. The problem, I'm going to say this, right? End of Dragons added a lot of skins, like armors and, you know, whatever. But they're all really boring. They're all really, really uninteresting. Like, for example, and I may be alone in this. Somehow I don't think I am alone. You're never alone. You're never the only one, right? But, like, the ancient ritualist stuff. Let me just preview it for you all. That's light. Look how shit this looks. Like, what's the other one? Kraken, I think, is the heavy. And there's a medium one as well. I don't like any of these skins. It seems to me, and I know they look a bit mismatched because of dyes, it seems to me that ArenaNet went with like hyper-authentic Korean armor or something. You know, they wanted it to be like, oh, we want it to be as realistic as possible or as respectful of the IRL culture as possible or something like that. And the result is they've just got these boring armors that cannot compete with the magic, you know, that we can, such as this, which we can make nowadays. The vast majority that you're looking at here, by the way, and I'll hear no bad words against my outfit here, is like 2012 stuff, you know. This is like Orion shoulders from Ara, Flame Legion legs from the Cathedral Flames, Citadel Flames, one of those. One's in Guild Wars 1, one's in Guild Wars 2. I think it's the Orion chest as well. I don't know. I know that not all of my fashion is to people's taste, but I don't know. I mostly just got the End of Dragons unlocks here because they're really just to get out of the unlockers because they were cheap, and I wouldn't have been incentivized otherwise. And I was surprised how much stuff End of Dragons added, but it's all like bland. It's all boring. It's stuff that it wasn't really interesting to me. The same goes for the weapons as well. Anyway, all right, I'm talking way too long about this. Finally, so Special Ops armor and a rare energized Lux and Hunter weapon cache can be acquired with the. So on the previous patch, do you see me get an error there? I constantly get, and here you see my latest trades. This is all getting unlocks. See, sub 40 gold, you want to buy them. So Lux and Hunter. Previous patch had these. They're going for 6 gold a pop now. They were going for like 4 gold before. I assume there's a new one. It's probably worth a lot of money since the patch is only half an hour old. But I can't really see it. People in the live chat, by the way. Mayo said the armor seems more Chinese. And somebody says it's not Chinese. Yeah, it won't be Chinese. Because I think the only reason Cantha exists is if it looks Korean. I think that was the thing, right? Like, they didn't do... Why did they do Heart of Thorns first instead of going to Cantha like people were expecting? It's because they were actually told, and I believe we heard this story from a dev, they were told they can't do it from their publishers because Guild Wars 1 Cantha was like a mix. It was an amalgam of lots of different Asian aesthetics. And, you know, I know that the NC Soft West publishes them, but, you know, NC Soft itself is a Korean company. And I think so basically when they finally came to doing this, I think they might have been told from high on above, make it Korean and just Korean. And it is definitely just Korean in Guild Wars 2. It's just Korean. All right, I've lost track here of whatever we were doing there. It doesn't matter. Let's go to the next page of the patch notes so we can actually get in and play the release. Someone, I won't be insulted by this. If someone in the comments wants to put a timestamp to when we actually get to the the patch, then that might be useful for people. All right, General. Jade Brotherhood Requisition Specialists in Gala Delve now offer thruster control units in exchange for Imperial favors and research notes. The collection must be in progress for the item to appear. The thruster control unit is required to unlock Siege Tunnel Mount, and previously could only be acquired by completing the Kaining Overlook Strike mission. Oh, they've added another way of getting the turtle that means you don't have to do the strike. That's funny. I haven't really been doing strikes and stuff for ages, but when you pop open LFG, Kaining Overlook was a really interesting one because it was a very populated LFG category. Even a year after End of Dragons came out, it was very populated because people wanted the turtle. And if you ever joined one of those groups, you would really get a proper sense of like the people in this chat, me playing the game, you know, none of us really know what it's like to be a proper noob in this game. I mean, really. You join one of those and you'll see like the actual bar that people are at, what the personal story and so on teaches people to play like. And they would not be able to do it. Normal mode, Ministerly, like they just could not. I mean, it was crazy, those groups. So they got another choice now, which is, I'm sure, a whole discussion I can't be bothered to have. Jade Bots filters that were previously available for purchase after capturing Jade Pillar Point Base and Bemoth Gap Base are now permanently available at a high cost. Sorry, permanently available. So if you get into the camp early, you can buy it without having to flip it. Is that the thing? 2 new Jade Bot filter options have been added. I wonder what those are. The Subdue Malfunctioning Jade Bots and Repair Down Bots event in Gala Delve has received balance updates and adjustments. Well, we don't really know what that means. It's just balance. Laurel Merchants now stock the code as Warmth and not as Blessing. So you got another way. You can get multiple of them, essentially, as long as you do the achievement first. The Siege Turtle Mount's first skill, Slam, now allows movement and control sooner after executing an attack. It's interesting they've, in a way, buffed that and the usability and the quality of life of that, because to me, I kind of wish that skill wasn't there, because of that skill, people don't really use the turtle in the way that you'd want, right? You'd want people running around, charging ammo for the gunner, but what actually happens is everyone just gets on the turtle and spams one. But hey, the environment zone intensity option has been reset to 100%. Yeah, that was a bit weird and bugged, I don't know. And the launcher now responds to double clicks. I didn't realise it didn't respond to double clicks. Did any of you guys, be honest, in chat right now, did you know that the launcher didn't respond to double clicks? Let me know. Or in the comments. And then there was this terrible balance. Okay, sorry. I shouldn't say terrible balance. This isn't a balance patch. There's some extra balance. It's all PvP balance, and they're absolutely not outliers as far as I'm concerned in this meta. Alacrity nerf for Mesmer, Ranger, Untamed changes as well, slight damage losses. These did not need to exist. I don't know why these are here. If I was only going to make 3 changes to PvP in a patch, these would not be here. But there you go. So that's it. That's the release. Most of it now is for us to just play and see what we got. So Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. Last time, presumably, we'll see this, because next time, guys, it will be Guild Wars 2 Utopia, or whatever they call it. Do you guys think, by the way, total tangent, do you think that since we're in mini X packs now, they will stop doing blah of blah? You know, X of Y is the format at the moment. They're not necessarily tied to that. They never have been, but it's been a fun thing to do. Do you think by going to mini X packs, they will change, unshackle themselves from that? Or keep it so as to continue this perception that the mini X-Packs are of the same ilk as the prior large ones, right? To sort of dupe more people into getting them. Does that make sense? I say dupe. I don't mean that as a slight against Arena. That's just the world of marketing and manipulating the masses, right? Let's be real. I think if I was there, I would say, no, keep doing X of Y, because you want it to seem, at first glance, as much like a real expansion as you possibly can, right? Guild Wars 2 expansion of smallness. Now, guys, I don't want any sneering, you know, cynicism here, alright? Okay, viewing journal. Play this chapter now. We can turn the music back up, the audio back up, because the Yumi hopefully won't interrupt. And play this chapter. I'm quite excited to see what they do here. Because I have always said I'm a big fan of the Oni, and I like the demon lore. As another little note, just to remind you all, the earliest concepts for Guild Wars 2 had it as a game about angels and demons. And don't forget, Utopia, set in the mists, all the demon-y stuff, was what they were originally going to do before they shifted. So we might... It's very weird right now, guys. It's like we're post Eye of the North again. We're in a weird place with this franchise. We're in a place this franchise hasn't been in since 2007 for the devs, 2008, 2009 for the community. We're on the threshold of something new. And previously it was a whole new game. You know, in theory we should be thinking about Guild Wars 3 here, but you know, times have moved on and lifestyle gaming and so on. Alright, here we go. Play this chapter. You'll leave some progress on 17. Ah! Hold on. There should be one more Goric update. Now, I did a video last week where I was looking at the Goric updates. But there was one missing, so I get to hear this. I assume this came a few days ago. Oh, whoops, wrong map. I always do that, you know. I always come to Dragon's End to the Galadale. I always underestimate how far over on the right it is. You ought to see End of Expectations. See, that's not even necessarily cynical. That might just be totally fair, right? Our expectations will be in a totally new place now, because who knows what to expect when they've been pretty candid. They could have been a lot more candid, but they've been pretty candid about the fact that there is going to be a scope difference here. And yeah, alright, so here we go. Gorik's final research note. It hums with mechanical energy. It looks like there's a recent entry. Listen.
Case notes entry 10. This is it! We've done it! Thank the alchemy! Timmy asked me to stop by as soon as possible. When I arrived, she, Yao, and June were putting the final touches on their newest invention. It boasts several features, not to mention a sleek design. I can't wait till the commander sees, though I need to keep reminding myself to treat it with sensitivity. The commander's role in our plan will likely be the toughest and most psychologically draining.
Really?
I'm on pins and needles for the Adventures debut. Demon, here we come. Goric, out.
So there you go, ding. I like this as well. I'll tell you, I hope they do this in that, you know what, this mini X-Pack, I hope it ends with another thing where there's like 10 little things you can hear. And I love the way that they rolled the two patches together. I think it's very good. I think they've taken the Bang-R conversations and elevated them to the best form that they can be in now. Unless I'm just being a bit uninspired, unimaginative. Alright. Sleuthing a solution complete. So we're now on what lies within. A plan emerges. Read the letter from Goric. I'm going to wait in case he randomly starts talking. He's going to be scared of this. Alright, it seems that he won't. Goric, very important. Please open. Commander, hope this letter finds you in moderately higher spirits. Timey, Yao, and I have been hard at work searching for an answer to our demon problem, and we think we found a viable solution. A word of caution, our strategy will involve an exhaustive exploration of your mind's response to intense emotional stimuli. It will be ... taxing. If anyone has my full confidence, it's you, Commander. When you're ready, come by the power plant in New Kaineng to discuss our new plan of attack. Goric. Can I just ask, people in chat, right, have you guys played this yet? I mean, what are you doing here? Are people beating it and they're like, alright, let's see if we can get some more content out of it. Or are you, is this blind for you guys as well? Meet up with your new friend. Okay, we're going to the power plant. Alright, good. I want to see as much as possible in this patch of other End of Dragons locations. I want to go to all the other maps. I will never stop crying that it's not long enough. I know that. But, you know, at least give us as many different places as possible. Haven't logged in. Broke your arm. Can't play. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Iron Curtain. How did you break your arm, then? Haven't logged in. You're at work. Blind WP is the content. It's entertaining. In terms of, I'm entertaining. Let me go that way. Oh, this is good. This feels like quite an iconic spot in End of Dragons to me as well. Maybe it shouldn't. But hey. Okay, a plan emerges. I actually found the story steps in this area to be a little slow. These are always cool, though. The little bonus achievement to jump across without hitting the coolant. Alright, security. Do you want to say anything to me? No? I see the mechs over there. Oh, that'd be quite interesting if they repurpose some of the world bosses again to spice up the these patches. Okay, call an elevator. Oh, let's see as well. Let's see real quick here. Story journal, what lies within. Quite a lot of achievements here. I don't think they'll get me to unstoppable achiever, I'm afraid. Because they really don't give you many points for a lot of these, but who knows. What's the ultimate reward here? Hazard response pack skin. Oh yeah, okay, so the thumbnail for this video, and like, so I looked at what Wiki had, basically, for images. Most of the promotional material for this seems very, like, mech suit, cyborgy kind of stuff, like very high-techy things. Which, I probably won't reflect with my magical-looking character. Also, I've picked all my favourite minis, and they're all, like, animated snowmen and usually festival things. But, yeah, I like this idea of, you know, very classical magey things that animate inanimate objects. Plus, the snowmen just have some of the best movement animations in the game.
You look refreshed and so lucid.
Hello.
I hear you've been busy. Certainly looks that way.
And for good reason. Finn, please show the commander our latest masterpiece.
Okay.
Just like we practiced.
Oh yeah, Finn's his golem. I was thinking for a second, what? Finn?
Introducing the Recollector.
That just makes me think of Adventure Time. Examine the surprise Finn has presented to you.
I'm not sure I follow.
That demon took a liking to you. After further analysis, it's clear why. It preys on unresolved stress, vulnerability.
Not that anyone is doubting your strength, but you've been known to carry the weight of the world. And that's tough for anyone, even if they are you.
Luckily, we can use that to our advantage. If you gather your emotions with the Recollector, we can use them as a lure.
Right. When our demon senses potent emotions, it'll try to latch on. Once enticed, we can lure it from the ley line. Like tasty emotional breadcrumbs.
So your plan is to turn me into bait? How do I collect these emotional breadcrumbs?
You'll have to do some exploration, physically and emotionally. Places important to you should give strong responses.
Well, this could be good. We might go on a tour
I
now.
know it's a lot, but well, we'll be there to help. And it'll be great prep for protecting your mind against further attacks.
You'll have to forgive my lack of enthusiasm for all this, but I'll do what needs to be done.
This could be really cool. They could take it. First of all, my suspicion is there will be hotspots all around End of Dragons, big moments around End of Dragons. They could do Courtier as well. If they manage to do it as like expansion areas as well, like we go to where we died in POF and stuff like that, that would be an amazing tour. But in terms of how the products are sold, I don't know whether they can do that. They would need quite a lot of like special logic in there that specifically says, oh, if you own this expansion, you get to go here as well. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So head to the Young Reactor to explore emotions related to my Trin. Oh, this might be really lame though as well. Here we go. Hopefully this is good. Are you ready to explore your emotions, everybody? I mean, to be fair, if I do spend years and years and years saying, I want Lissa, do a Lissa story, I can't then whine as soon as they start doing things about emotions, you know? Because this could be leading to Lissa, everybody. Resolve those plot threads to do with Balthazar and so on. I still think it's possible. Sorry everyone's culled out, but I'd really rather have my frame rate.
Commander. So, Kaining, huh? At least it's convenient.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to pry. I just... Hey, at any point, if you get worked up, I'm here. Dealing with this stuff is hard. Most people won't even try. For what it's worth, I think it's pretty damn brave to do this. And yeah, I'll be here. That's all.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Yo. Suppose I should get started.
What was it I said? I think on my last End of Dragons playthrough, what was it, around Christmas or something? Didn't I say that a thing that was kind of weirding me out about the new writing style and the way that the story is told in this is it feels like it's constantly like a first world Western therapy session. Didn't I say that? And I'm immediately getting those vibes again straight away here. And not everyone's totally culled out. Obviously, if we zoom in and we're close to them, we'll be all right. Okay, but also this could be quite good as well because I believe I also remember thinking at one point it would have been nice to have seen Mai's grave or the fact they recovered the body. Wasn't that quite a hidden piece of information in June's mansion or something? So there's just a memorial to her, is there? This memorial on it. Here I was really hoping we were going to go into a mini instance that would take us back to the reactor, maybe flooded and we'd swim around in there or something. This memorial honors Mai Trin, erected in the aftermath of the reactor station explosion. It stands here in commemoration of their sacrifice. No life is purely good or evil. Ultimately, we're the sum of our choices. Oh, find a way to repay respects. It's got a deposit icon on it now. That guy saying I can't see shit. Hold on. Oh, we're gonna give her fish? We're gonna fish? I like the idea of fishing as a part of a story step, but still, that's a bit interesting. I'm also kind of wondering here, why is there a memorial to her in the city? I guess... Because, hold on. She stayed behind to shut down the reactor or slow it down or something, right? And then she got killed by Anka. Now, we saw that as a cutscene, but the commander didn't see that. No one necessarily saw it. Anka didn't tell us about what happened before Anka died. But I guess just the fact that she stayed behind is enough, right? We don't have to know exactly how she died to know that she was doing something honourable. Just the fact she stayed behind was the honourable thing. Why are we giving her a fish? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy to forgive it though. I'm not going to be too picky or petty about that because I think that integrating fishing into the story is something I would have liked a lot of throughout this expansion. Oh, sorry. I needed to carry it. There we go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You said that. I can't change who I was, but I won't give up on who I want to be.
And who, pray tell, is that?
I don't know. Someone better.
It's good. I do like the fundamentals of a story like this. It's like I'm going to give you a very tired gaming example here, but to be honest, it's probably worthwhile. It's like in Skyrim, like Parthenax's thing. I can't remember the exact quote. Maybe you guys in chat know. But is it better to be good or become good through overcoming your nature or whatever? I've butchered that. That line. That's a good little story there, though. I think there's something similar with my Trin in that.
Hey, how are you feeling?
Like we just
My
went
Trin
fishing.
was selfish. Killed innocent people without a second thought.
Oh, hello.
And I owe my life to her.
I didn't know her well. Our first real introduction was terrible. But I did get the impression she felt lost. Finding your place can be tough. She probably thought the Aether Blades were where she belonged. But then she hit a point where she realized what she was doing didn't align with the person she wanted to be. And she started thinking less about being accepted by pirates and more about being acceptable to herself.
Doesn't excuse her actions. Not one bit.
Gods, no. She murdered people. Maybe just acknowledge that she tried to do something right at the end. Not everybody does.
I actually really like the way they wrote that. Oh, we've got a choice. They've given us a choice. I think that was good. I think the problem ArenaNet nearly always has, for me, is when they get the commander to speak, they're using the commander, and this goes way back, right? I think a lot of people criticize the writing, and they always think it's a new thing, whatever. This goes way back. They use the commander as a mouthpiece for... They sort of dictate how you should feel. They don't really let you make up your own mind or live in a different sort of space, because the commander is very forceful about, oh no, this was the moralistic thing to take away from this. You must... It's very, very... It's like bullying, really, in a way. They sort of bully the audience into accepting their view on a thing. And I think that happened a lot with my Trin. I think that it was very slanted in the End of Dragons campaign to oh, we should be sympathetic to my Trin. I think that there was less acknowledgement of her crimes and the people that she hurt and killed and the suffering that she wreaked and so on. And there was a lot of downplaying it. And then when they brought season 1 back, they kind of did a lot of stuff there as well to soften her a bit. And I think that left me, I can't speak for everyone, but that left me feeling a little bit bitter in a way. Like, it felt a bit disingenuous or fake, or this isn't really how I feel. But they kind of gave me my resolution there a little bit, because I think that the way that Liz just acted is how I feel about my Trin, you know. And what Yao said, you know, yeah, she was horrible. Let's at least we'll acknowledge that she did something nice at the end. That sits with me a lot better. I don't know if this is a real criticism I'm offering right now, though, or just, oh, this finally lines up with my own feelings on the matter. So, yay, the mouthpiece matches what I think, so therefore it's good writing. I don't know whether that's really a comment, is it? But yeah, I liked it. Liz was more vicious about my Trin there. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I wanted to see her be more vicious about it. I'm very curious about this. This icon only appears very rarely. It started in Heart of Thorns. You get a choice of where to go. I wonder if this is a true choice or just an order. Anyway, what do you think, Commander? What emotions are you going to explore next? Okay. Should we check out our feelings about Blish? That's ancient history. Cinder. Aurene or Vlast? Sorry, wait, Cinder? Who's Cinder? Oh god, I don't actually know. Who's Cinder? Hold on. Cinder who? I'm on the wiki. My tab almost auto-played there of YouTube. Actually, here guys, listen to this. Hopefully this comes through. I want you guys to tell me what game is this. Ready? I'll give you 10 seconds. Here we go. Alright, there you go. That's all you're getting. What game is that? Mega Man 2. No, it's not Mega Man 2. I'll be very interested to see if someone gets that. Because it's a game I do not play, I want to be clear, but I've been listening to the soundtrack relentlessly. No, it's not Halo. Though I get kind of the horns there or whatever. I kind of get why you'd think that. Cinder who? Cinder Steel Temper. Ryland's second in command, proficient with a flamethrower. I don't think so. Somehow. Cinder. Cinder Spire is in Carla's warband, but is just a renegade skill, right? What, are you serious? Cinder Steel Temper? I gotta click this. I don't know who this is. I really don't know what this is. Let's see. No, it's not Morrowind. It's not New World. It's not Starfield. Should I give people a hint? Head to the Broken Tooth Moor in Blaze Ridge to explore emotions related to Cinder. Okay, wait. Is this bugged? Is this meant to be Char specific and it's bugged? You didn't like the Cinder conversations. They're trying to make me feel some way about her that I definitely don't agree with. Cinder was prominent in the Icebrood saga. Just one of Ryland's warband, is that it? Second in command in the Steel warband. I mean, this is such an unmemorable character that I have zero emotions, barely any memory about her. Play the track longer, you vaguely recognise it. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll mute in-game volume and we'll play it. Someone will get it if I play it too long, but there you go. I appreciate it was a bit ambient.
Yo told me about how you'd be up this way. Interesting place.
Well, I'll get to it then.
Sure. Do what you have to do.
Oh, we got a lot of objectives here. Talk to the various Shatter Warband members to hear their memories and perspectives on Cinder. Oh my god, you got it. Somebody, you're very impressive, you know. He might have put that, did you put that into a tool to figure that out? Somebody got it in chat, yes. It's Civ 6, and it's the English theme. That was the atomic era for if you play England. In Civilization 6. I don't play Civ 6. I've never played a Civ game in my life. But that soundtrack is amazing. The Civ 6 soundtrack. Basically, every nation you can play has their own music that typifies that area of the world. But also it's broken into the eras. So there'll be medieval English music, and then there'll be industrial, and then the atomic era. It's really good, and the theme just builds and builds each time. It's really good. It's like a 4.5 hour long soundtrack, and it's so varied. It's really fucking good, guys. And that's my ambient music at the moment. All right, as our Shatter Soul.
This better be good.
Why did you decide to fight alongside Cinder Steel Temper? I trusted her. Why? Never gave me a reason not to.
Together. He bailed us out more times than I can count. He's always trying to do what's right. That's why he's got our loyalty.
To your knowledge. Don't know if you're fishing for dirt on her or what.
Make it quick.
But you won't find it here. She was a good leader and a good person. Nobody like her before or since. I'm really sorry, guys. I feel terrible here. I have got to read the wiki page about Cinder. Cinder is the second in command of Ryland Steelcatcher's Steel Warband in the Blood Legion, a member of the Dominion. She's proficient with a flamethrower. Early years, Cinder Steel Temper was found hidden near the corpses of presumed parents by a Blood Legion patrol. After this, she was brought to the Blood Legion Farrar in Grothmar, where she met Ryland. The Primus there used to beat the cubs with a metal... Where's all this detail from? Let me read the source here. Where's this information from? Revels and Rivals. The second story step in the prologue of the Icebrood saga? I don't remember this detail. They recruited other members, such as Renoa, Vishen, and the ex-renegade Nicobar. Of course, you'll recognise all of these from the Forge and Steel mission, if you'd played that. However, Cinder was disappointed to learn the Warband's first assignment was Home Guard, posting at Grothmar instead of getting to fight enemies of the Char. As the years passed, the Steel Warband got to participate in various battles. Their fame grew. One of the notable battles involved defending the Broken Tooth Moor outpost of the Branded. Cinder began experimenting on her weapons with primordial slag from destroyers to make them more effective. Okay, in the Icebrood Saga, they're there at the intro. As Bangar established his dominion and rallied more support behind his cause, the Steel Warband assisted him in his campaign. Although the High Legions organised the United Legions to face Bangar's forces in combat, the Dominion won many of battles, if fought, while gaining more support in the process. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. After Iron Legion Imperatus, Smolder the Unflinching had utilised the Searing Crystal to bomb a research and development team with assistance from Ritlock, the Pack Commander's assistants, and Ephraim Greek's Glory, a toning Flame Legion splinter group. Cinder witnessed Ephraim and Smolder arguing in the taken Steel Warband base about Smolder's secretive actions, and the Commander halting the hostilities between the two Char leaders as they headed for a new parley. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, basically, she's the prisoner that got caught, right? In the second Civil War patch, the first Civil War patch. Drizzlewood won. Remember, there was no voice acting at the time. There was that one cutscene. Cinder uttered Ryland's name with the last of her strength before collapsing, and her death enraged Ryland. Remember, and like the only line in the whole patch that was voiced was Ryland, I think, shouting or something. Krisha's flame shield protected him, blah 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 blah. So this is just one of his warband that got captured and killed, right? Very odd choice for a character to do this with. I mean, I find it difficult to complain though, because it's content at least, and I really like the idea at play here. Go back to a Quarteria area, talk to people. I really like just the format here is great. You got something to say? Can I ask you about Cinder? She was sharp, and not just in the Farah. Had this way of knowing what you needed before you even said anything. That's rare, especially for someone that young. But she'd seen a lot already. That was a way of aging you before your years. She does so does the company you keep. Ryland was a good soldier, but he made some bad calls.
Reputation. We intend on keeping it.
Next time, I'll try to actually listen to what the ghosts say. Because I didn't mean to talk over them there. I'm so used to random dialogue cutting in that you should ignore in Guild Wars because it's never relevant to what you're doing. Now it is relevant. But I think this is good. This is a nice demonstration, by the way, of the fact you don't need much voice acting for meaningful world exploration and story. So let's wait a second here and see if there's dialogue. What do you want? What do you remember about Cinder? No ghosts. Strong as hell for one thing in battle, but the way she did things. When she made up her mind about something, she was going to see it through. It made me want to do the same. Perseverance is admirable, both on and off the battlefield.
Reporting.
Oh, they didn't say much that time.
Start something?
Yeah, it only gets you so far. Her biggest mistake was getting captured. Once you're in enemy hands, the show's over. Rules of war, you know. This is interesting. It's... Why pick this character? Is it because you want us to think a bit more about the Char again? Need something? Can I ask you about Cinder's still temper? Wouldn't be around today if not for her. None of us would. She always put our safety before hers. Just who she was. You probably know the type. Suppose I do. I have to respect selfishness. Wait. Selflessness like that, I was going to say.
Save it. I've learned plenty. Seen and done plenty. Old heads aren't the only ones fit to lead.
If you were in her warband, she'd put her life on the line. But if you were on the other side of the battlefield, you were toast. She'd burn you to ashes. Reflect on your feelings of Cholmu. Cholmu's not here, is he? Oh, did we start this with Cholmu? I didn't even really recognise. Jesus, I need to pay a bit more attention here, guys. I'm really sorry. Did we speak to Cholmu at the start of this? I like this. There's something very novel about speaking to Cholmu out here.
You look shaken up.
I'm tired.
Look, you're gonna screw something up for someone. That's just how it goes.
Cinder is dead because I let the parlay happen.
You didn't kill Cinder. Smolder did. All you can do is look out for those counting on you and choose what you believe is right.
Cinder was on the wrong side. Same with all those researchers. They didn't deserve...
Everyone thinks leading's easy, but it's not black and white. And if things go south and people get hurt, it's all on you. People look at you like you don't care, when really it eats at you. But you can't show them. You have to be strong. But they're right. Someone got hurt, or worse, because of you. No matter how good you are at what you do, it happens.
I know.
It gets to you. Just find your own way to deal with it.
This is like IRL therapy for people as well here, isn't it? I think I understand now. I think I get why they picked her. It's not so much her as it is, you know, that move during that patch, that moral thing where we blew up the base. Didn't the player get a choice about that, though? Anyway, that is something that would eat away at the commander. That I can definitely see. That really sticks out to me, you know, the moment where you bomb a bunch of innocent people or commit a war crime, essentially. And I happen to know as well that on the forums, people were really whingy about that, weren't they? And they really stuck it. Oh, I hate that you made my commander do this, blah, 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 blah. Just kind of not, I think that that's a really good decision to have a therapy session for the commander about that. I actually have really high hopes for these other ones now, because that actually felt alright by the end there. Let's talk about Blish, man. I mean, I really like Blish, and I do feel like that was a rather unresolved story arc. I'm actually really happy with this, returning to some stuff that we haven't talked about enough for a long time. I think this is really good. So where are we going to discuss Blish? When we're going to Ratsoom. Randomly adding Cinder in there kind of... Yeah, it's weird that it's all around Cinder. It's one of those things where you don't know what the writers know, right? They might think the story's different to how it felt to play. If you read just the cliff notes of the Icebreed saga, you might look at Cinder as a more prominent character than they felt in the end. And you might look at the circumstance and the fact of Cinder and say, oh, that's really tragic. I bet the commander would really care about that. So it might work really well on paper. As someone who played it, and it was a few years ago now, and so on, I have to say it does feel like an odd choice. But, you know, if they can wiggle it around to the thing about bombing the R&D lab, I think that works better. And, you know, in a weird way, I've got to say, guys, as well, I sort of think the more obscure the better, really, with some of this stuff. Because there's something authentic about that. I kind of like... I like the idea that the command... that is... I don't know, there's something very difficult to describe about continuity and about... reflecting on, reminding people of things that they might have forgotten about or not thought were important. I don't know. It feels good. I can't. There's something about that I quite like. Sort of that feeling you get when you watch a show like Adventure Time, and suddenly you're dealing with something that hasn't come up for a few seasons, and it's like, yeah, you thought this was just some frivolous little joke, but actually, no, we know this and we remember this and we care about this, and it's cohesive, and it sort of feels like you're in safe hands. I don't know. There's something good about it. It's not great, but there's a good element there, I think. Alright, can I speak, or can we only eat cakes? Because that's what people have been dumping all over the place here.
Just reading through some of Blish's old papers.
It's Goric.
His professors always kept copies of his work as examples for future students.
Wow. He must have been at the top of his classes.
Academic competition was fierce, especially in cybernetic systems, too. The results of that course are highly contested. Whatever you do, don't bring it up to Tiny. It's a lingering sore spot for her.
Noted. Mind if I have a look?
Not at all. Blish would have been thrilled people still read his work. I'd recommend his consciousness transferals papers. Though his newest work was some of his most riveting. He was prepping it for publication, but he ran out of time.
I wonder if as an Asura I get a slightly different thing here. In fact, hold on, is there one for each race? Do you think we have unresolved trauma with some Sylvari thing? We've done Asura, Char. That might also explain a little bit of why they picked Cinder. I like this. This shit about Blish. This is good, man. And I also get a little bit captivated, a little bit titillated by the idea that we might return to his consciousness. Hold on, what did they literally just say? Didn't they say that they store... What did they say they store copies of? Just reading his old papers. Listen to this. His professors always kept copies of his work. Cybernetic Systems 2. That's the first time we've ever heard of Cybernetic Systems 2, as far as I know. Blish would have thrilled people who still read his work. I'd recommend his consciousness transferal papers. If they keep copies, do you think they've got a copy of his consciousness? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Hey? Huh? Oh, and the Inquest steal it, and then Evil Blish arrives, Mecha Blish arrives later? I don't know. These are all such... If these stories are told in the wrong way, they're so bad. So cheesy. The archives at the College of Synergetics are full... Sorry, Synergetics. Are full of Blish's research from his time here. Blish's research notes remain intact, but signs of wear suggest they're frequently referenced. Skim his notes.
Horror. I couldn't see, hear, speak, move.
Interesting.
No sense of space or time. Only nothingness. I would prefer not to experience that again.
Now that apparition there, was this true for the previous stuff as well? Is it all pulling from dialogue from earlier in the game? I assume maybe. I vaguely remember a moment where Blish is shut down and then turns back on. Fuck me, man. I can't believe I forgot. It was only, what, a few months ago we did that full replay. Oh, no, that's not true. That was right before End of Dragon, so it was over a year ago. You skim through pages of meticulous graphs and precise data. Nearby a set of deft equations. Someone has penciled in a single word, genius. You can't help but feel the handwriting looks familiar. Seems many people will remember you for a long time, Blish. Oh, do we only get the one? No, we get loads.
How interesting.
You require my assistance.
The archives, it's well worn.
Excelsior. I'm supposed to be dead. Science gave me a second chance. I will make it count.
No, I don't recognise that information. I don't recognise this dialogue. I think that's all new. So they got his... Was his voice actor doing another voice and they've had him for a long time? See, this is one of those weird things as well, right? Where... So I always wonder, like, okay, if they've got this voice actor in, are they doubling up with some other work? Is Blish in the next mini-X pack and that's why he's in this patch? Stuff like that is what runs through my head, you know? You imagine students reading this would feel inspired by the passion transcending his pages.
Excelsior.
You, however, feel a growing pit in your stomach, its hollowness akin to the void left by a dear friend. I think I need to step away now.
Take care, Rourke. Tell him his big brother is sorry. And Timon too. And
embrace simplicity.
Stop keeping secrets from each other. All of you.
Oh, he did say this stuff. People in chat are saying he did say this stuff. I assume if he said this, this is probably dialogue that was firing as you're running out of the mists on a mount. You know, that action patch. Some of those patches were fucking awesome, right? But you know, you're in the mist, you're fleeing, reality's disintegrating, Blish has stayed behind. I assume that this dialogue fired at that time. Student, Blish, ID, I'm not going to read it. SYS310, Cybernetic Systems 2, MTH 411, Multivariable Calculus, TML 310, Thaumaturgical Materials Lab, MPY 340, Magical Metaphysics Seminar, Theory of Abstract Structures. You skim through the lengthy list of advanced coursework that Blish completed during his time at the college. It's as impressive as it is intimidating. Yeah, this is quite well written. This actually gives me a bit of an kind of feeling, like remembering the dreariness of academia.
Come back with me when the storm passes. We've come too far to give in now.
Excelsior.
Wait, what? Come back to me when the storm passes. We've come too far to give in now. See, I remember that patch where you leave Blish, right? I remember reading this. Some very disgruntled Guild Wars 2 fan who was like, really pissed because... Sorry, I'm just admiring here. I got a mirror with my PC set up at the moment. I got a mirror, right? I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I used one of these printing websites to print out a picture that I made on the PC. It was basically a poster for Stellaris, right? I made my own because I kind of want to put some posters up, but I had a big picture frame, but nothing to put in it really. So I thought, well, I'll put a game that I know and that I like, and because I've been modding that a lot, and I already have Guild Wars stuff already, right? So I didn't want to do another Guild Wars thing. So I thought I'll do a Stellaris thing, and I just put it up today because it got delayed because of the Royal Mail strike, blah 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 blah. But I just put out, and I hammered the wall tax in today, like measured out and stuff, and it all went perfectly. And I just caught it behind me there in the mirror, and it looked so good. And I completely distracted myself of what I was going to say. Right, so Blish.
How interesting.
When we left him in the mists, did we promise that we would go back? Because I remember a sort of disgruntled Guild Wars 2 fan on the forums or something, who was mad that when the season ended, by the end of the season, that we went inside Kralkatorrik 8 Blish, obviously, but we never stopped to go get him.
How may I assist?
You know, and it felt like the commander had just moved on. This is actually a really good patch for this, because I've definitely read at least one instance, and I agree with them, of someone saying, you know, it felt a bit shit that we didn't even talk about Blish. We just sort of ran on. Well, look, here you get your therapy patch, and here you get to look at Blish, and you get to remember him and stuff. And it's really curious to me that ArenaNet put this line here, come back for me when the storm passes, we've come too far to give it now. Did he really say that? Did he ask us to come back for him? In the mists, and we just didn't? Because that was very bold for them to remind us of that fact, and actually put it here in this patch. I actually have immense respect for that, if that's what they've done, if I'm interpreting this right. Anyway, this was the study and implementation of consciousness transferal, one of those. Abstract. Consciousness has been loosely defined as the capacity for awareness in relation to internal and external stimuli. The study explores questions of consciousness and the feasibility of its transference across synthetic bodies. Ultimately, the results of this research aim to serve as a guide for the field of consciousness transferal and its future implementation within modern Tyrian society. This discipline has the unprecedented potential to interweave concepts of organic life and cybernetic technology as we know it. Even if the researcher writing this paper... Oh, we've lost connection. I haven't... Please tell me, for the love of God, that that's just Guild Wars, that isn't all my internet, and that this whole video isn't now offline. It seems we're okay. I've been given no errors at all. We're still going, yeah, everybody? I'll tell you, I've had so many issues. We're not here. Alright, people are here. Oh god, my heart jumped through my throat there. You know, internet has been a little bit unstable at this new place, just a little bit. But then, I don't know, the worst thing is like DHCP errors and DNS errors where like it's just the ISP is messing things up. There's a lot of acronyms I just threw you there. But
just reading through some of Blish's old papers.
Here we go. But if I can resolve it, I'm fine.
Copies of his work as examples for future students.
Wow. Excelsior. He must have been at the top of his classes.
Academic competition was fierce, especially in cybernetic systems too. The results of that course are highly contested. Whatever you do, don't bring it up to Tiny. It's a lingering sore spot for her.
Noted. Mind if I have a look?
Not at all. Blish would have been thrilled people still read his work. I'd recommend his consciousness transferals papers. Though his newest work was some of his most riveting. He was prepping it for publication, but he ran out of time.
I said to someone the other day that I don't really care about all the mechs around, but it is kind of nuts, isn't it, actually? There are so many people playing mech.
Gorik, I shouldn't have dragged you here.
Commander, I knew from the moment you told me what this was going to be about. I wanted to be here with you.
When I was with him, I had no idea he was planning... I'm sorry.
Would have been so proud of what we accomplished. And that you still remember him.
Gorik.
It took me a while to accept that his sacrifice was necessary. And it was his choice. We have to honor that. It's okay.
I think I'm ready now. Should probably get back to
Oh, it was a real choice, so I don't get to see all of them. Oh, I wonder what the others were then. I did read them. Well, hold on, what were the other ones? I'm glad I did Blish there. Oh, one of them was Aureen. Fuck. Aureen was probably not that well, Aureen probably was quite crucial.
Loyal to your crew.
What trauma do I have with Aureen? I'm happy I did Blish. Cinder was a bit odd. I can't believe you only get 2 then.
Interesting.
Quite like that. There's some replayability. I'm sure they have an achievement to go back and get the others. We kind of got screwed out of whatever information was at the end of that text. Sorry, because of the DLC. The DC, but... Bottle your emotions. There you go. We're 1 out of 5. Return to the Gala Delve to test out the Recollector. Recollector? Well, there I am, mousing around POF. I have a lot of, like, map muscle memory that has not broken throughout End of Dragons, you know? I still tend to move to a general area and think, oh, this is the bottom right of the map. Because I think Gyaladel's bottom right. And I end up at Vabi, you know? And it's like, no, you gotta go way south. Realistically, I should be using the Arborstone Portal scroll, but hey. Aureen literally died. I don't know. Well, one thing I will say is I do like that what feels like quite distant story is now suddenly being talked about in like a modern way. And I like that because it makes it all feel... I think this is a really good idea for a story step. A really good idea for a story step. The only issue... Now, look, I appreciate this may not go down with everyone. The only issue with Guild Wars is we feel... Oh, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like we're so limited for how much story we get per patch. We're always running out of road. I'm always terrified the patch is about to end, right? Fuck, they've only got like 5 minutes to talk about 3 hours worth of content. What 5 minutes do they pick, you know? So that story step we just did there, I think is brilliant. I think is excellent. In the world of Guild Wars 2, though, where they have no time to do anything, it feels a bit iffy now because it's like, fuck, they prioritize that instead of something else, you know? And that's the great crushing thing about following this game's story compared to other game stories, I think. Whereas, like, you know that they can't tell it to its best in this because they're always so constrained. But just in principle, that aside, I like that trauma thing. I think that's actually not bad. And I think the older and more obscure the trauma, actually, the more it strengthens the storytelling, actually.
You're back! Thank the alchemy! You're okay. You still have the Recollector, right? It didn't explode or...
Even if the idea of let's go have therapy is
so I
unbelievably
should
fucking
probably
lame.
test out its
but,
other
you know.
functions.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course. But don't think you're walking into that gunk unprotected. Say hello to an old friend. An old friend who can withstand the elements.
You're lending me Scruffy?
He's roomier than he looks. Why don't you take him out for a spin?
Oh, this is cool. That's actually quite cool. How many years and we've never been in Scruffy? Are you serious? We're gonna go in Scruffy? Oh shit! It's gonna be like a golem battlesuit kind of experience. Emotional release. WP out of context. Therapy's lame. Yeah.
How's the fit?
Oh, very. A surprising amount of headroom.
This line would, I hope,
Perfect.
change if you're
Let's
a
get some
Norn.
practice in. What's the situation? Any potential test subjects lurking around?
There's a bunch near some jade pools.
Beautiful. Obliterate them.
I really hope that is
Test
race
out the
specific.
non-lethal features. They're important too, but so much less fun.
Yes, okay, people are saying it does change. Good, good, yeah. I think if you're a Norn or a Char, he should be like, ugh, this is not very good. A human should be like, cozy. And an Asura would say, yeah, lots of headroom. Oh, cool, I got my mini with me. All right, what are we looking at here? This is good as well. I kind of like transforms in story steps, just don't give me too many skills. Waft emotions. Lovely, waft. I only ever think of the word waft when I think about, like, farts. You waft a fart, don't you? You don't really waft. Open the Recollector valve, a small amount, releasing some emotional essence to attract nearby demons. 12-second taunt at 2,000 range. That's going to be quite fun to use. Open the Recollector valve, a moderate amount, ejecting emotions outward to distract nearby demons. 1 torment and the distracted effect. That's odd. Open the Recollector valve all the way to blast a cacophony of emotions at nearby demons, knocking them down and causing psychic damage. Big damage, 1 confusion. Okay, so 1 and then 3 is my plan. I'm not quite sure the use for 2 right now. Are they in 2K range? I would assume they are. Yeah, they are. Can you get? Oh wow, that's a weird effect, isn't it? Hold on, ArenaNet. What am I supposed to do in the meantime? Oh, I'm actually not meant to be killing them. I'm filling these bars up.
So, enjoying yourself?
Not really. I almost died.
It's cathartic.
That's the idea. Sounds like everything's working as it should.
Yes, but the effects seem to be wearing off pretty fast. I'm concerned it won't buy us much time.
What? Oh, those greedy emotion grubbers. And these are just the wimpy ones. Oh, bring it back. Everyone's here now, so we can troubleshoot.
Oh really? We leave the instance. Very interesting. I can't like this. I don't see ArenaNet do that much. Like weave you into a tiny little instance and then throw you out again real quick. Oh, it says chat disconnected, successfully reconnected. I'm a little bit worried about that. Does that mean that we've died?
I don't believe this. At this point, we don't have the resources to compete with their appetites.
Yeah. By the time we lure the big guy to the surface, all those little ones will be tailing us. Especially when they get away from the commander. No offense.
What if we block the path as we go? Could Finn knock out some more walls? Bury them in debris?
Only where there's structural weakness. Those walls are solid. Even if we had something with more pizzazz, I'm not sure how safe it'd be.
Before you go blowing up the place, take a look through my storage crates. I brought a few extra supplies with me from headquarters. Sure there's something useful in there. Take what you need. Only what you need.
Okay, thank you. Question mark, Cholmu? This explains why everyone's carrying all these boxes around here. Brain crates to Cholmu.
Come on, big money, big money. Come on, Scruffy needs a new set of shocks.
I like that. To find the useful contents he's looking for. Well, that was one. Legitimately acquired goods. In the old air quotes. Thank you, Cholmu.
What part of don't blow up the place did you not understand? You'll trigger a full-scale cave-in.
He's right. We'll still want access to the ley line once the demon is dealt with.
And my crew is still in here. Look, if you think the explosives will be useful, take them. But be smart about it.
Sorry, I didn't realize that I was giving him explosives. It was just an empty crate as far as I could see. If I looked at it, would I have seen that there was like dynamite or TNT or something on there? I mean, they all just look like generically closed crates as far as I can see. You're confused. There's a new story. Why isn't there a trailer? That didn't even occur to me. Wow. On the last patch, they released the trailer the day of.
Ooh, stylish. Though the print might be a bit loud for you, Cholmu.
And that cut leaves nothing to the imagination.
Shut up.
That's interesting to see the commander actually giggle and laugh. Do you think they did that because the idea is we processed a bit of our trauma now, so we've chilled out a bit? When did the commander ever laugh? I'm sure they thought that as they were writing this. They thought, when do we even hear the commander laugh? So they thought, fuck it, let's actually put it in there. Oh my god, have you guys ever heard the commander laugh? There might be some personal story like side-by-side scene that has it.
Care to explain why the Brotherhood has an ancient Kurzik rune in its possession?
It was acquired from the speakers. Apparently, Tetra found it useful. And it's in our best interest to keep useful things away from Tetra.
Of course. Of course. I mean, why return it to its rightful owners when we can shove it in a damn crate?
Get off your soapbox. You may borrow it.
Park Chul-Mu, a true philanthropist.
Considering that it's now Brotherhood property, I believe I'm being quite generous.
And I believe that you believe that.
Let's have a big discussion about the British Museum, right, everybody? I think what I was supposed to do is look at him. See, he's holding, or someone's holding TNT. Is he holding both? I think he's holding a bunch of stuff all at once. He's like bugged. He's got like a million runes in one hand. He's got TNT in the other. That's funny. Speaking of the Tetra and so on, guys, I actually read some new End of Dragons lore that, oh, we've done it now, that I hadn't seen the other day. I was doing like achievements in Ekavald. And in the warden area in Ekavald, I was speaking to some of the NPCs just in pursuit of doing the heart. But I found some information I didn't know I had missed in all my time playing End of Dragons. You guys might find this quite interesting if you've missed it as well. But basically there's a detail in there, which is that the female wardens weren't around in Guild Wars 1, and they sort of mysteriously appeared between the two games. All the girls like walked over and sort of nobody quite can tell why or where they'd been or what was going on. It was like this extra detail about the warden story that genuinely I had no idea about, and I thought, man, there's probably a lot of hidden little things like that in End of Dragons that are worth paying attention to. But yeah, alright, Rama, what do you think?
Well, we have a seal. That's a start.
Is anyone here versed in ancient Kurzic ritual magic? Anyone?
Think I know someone who can help. She practically lives at the library in Arborstone. Really loses her mind over this sort of stuff. If we head to Echo Vault now, we can probably catch her.
Oh, who is this? Okay, cool. We're going to Arborstone. This is good. This is more like it to me. See, we're actually going to different places. I made a similar joke in Tomb Raider. Which one, though? I mean, Jesus. It's going to turn out it's been every single one, and I really have no other topics.
So this is where Ishan fell.
Yes, this is where Ishan fell.
Yes.
This is more like a den of iniquity. Are you pay?
Look who it is.
Hi.
I was starting to think you forgot about me.
I have.
Sorry,
Who are you?
I've been such a stranger. I promise I'll drop by more.
Oh.
I have a lot more time these days. Well, except today.
This is one long-range conversation. But I can see him. He's over there.
New hobby to impress the ancestors? Ah, okay, let me think. You said sealing rituals? I don't have the incantations memorized by heart or anything, but during my youth, I may have spent an embarrassing amount of time sulking around the library's occult section. If I were you, I'd start with the Kestrel archives. They have a whole collection on ritual magic. Bet there's something useful.
Right, this is quite interesting. Yeah, there you go. RG Fang says, yeah, the female wardens were apparently protecting something else while the males were roaming the Echovale. And I think you can basically say, oh, let's ask Tetra about it. And they're like, fuck off, no. She won't respond to you, basically. It's a good little line, it really is. Okay.
That's your writer, Snaffle. Just gave me a free copy.
Snaffle? Snaffle? The way that person says snaffle, always, there's something about the emphasis there. Oh, this is really good. So same format again, but now it's with library books. I like this. This is good. I would happily play a lot of patches like this. The importance of reading in the Age of the Dragon. Ask any of Cantha's most influential figures the secret to their success, and you'll likely receive the conventional responses: an early bedtime, a healthy diet, and, if they're the epitome of overachievement, an exercise regimen. But one surprising thread of commonality connects vivacious entertainers and high-performing athletes to the most apt scientific minds of this generation: a love of reading. Take, for example, Cantha's notorious inventor and entrepreneur, Lady Yu Jun. When asked... I didn't know that was a... Given, what's the word? Given name? First name? There's some term for that, isn't there? When asked how she spent her precious free time, she immediately listed family time and reading. Unsurprisingly, she cited scientific literature as one of her go-to genres, but she also declared a love for all things biographies of professional fighters who Sorry, let's read that again, because I said that wrong. But she also declared a love for, of all things, biographies of professional fighters who dominate the field of hand-to-hand combat. A poster child for interdisciplinary study, if there ever was one. Many pages are peppered with small holes, which appear to be the work of peckish bookworms. Seems they've taken the book's message to heart. That's quite funny. We're supposed to think about Tengu doing that. There are so many good books. Yes, I understand. Carnivorous Carpentry. Sadly, the text in this ancient tome is so faded it's illegible. Far overdue to be removed from circulation. A shame considering the intriguing nature of the premise. Carnivorous Carpentry. Indeed, that is intriguing. What does that mean exactly? Carnivore Carpentry. The kind of things that meat eaters would... Intelligent meat eater society would... craft? Am I way off here? What? Anyway, I only have eyes for Moo. Ooh, Chapter 1 by Snargle Goldclaw. Okay, some kind of sexy thing about Chol Moo. Here we go. Chapter 1, Wild Nights and Forbidden Delights in Echovald. Chol Moo. A mossy voice. How do I do a mossy voice? What the fuck? A mossy voice wafted, there's that word again, its way through the stifling air of the Sapphire Sisterhood's hidden storage room. From behind the cloak of a shadow, its owner, a lush warden, stepped into view. Tantra Mooncool, obviously a derivative, just a tweak of Tetra Earthcool. Tantra Mooncool. I like the word tantra there in the context of like a sexy book, because it all makes us think of tantric sex, surely. Leader of the local Shriekers gang. Her warden's limbs were strong, yet delicate. Her blooms ample. Tantra, did anyone see you? A rugged voice replied. Chol Moo, leader of the Shriekers' prime rival, the Sapphire Sisterhood, stood rigidly in the moonlight. His tattooed, recently moisturized torso seemed to hypnotize Tantra's gaze. Recently moisturized. I waited for the Sisterhood scouts to change watch for the night, just like you said. Good. Oh, Tantra, another minute without you, and I would have burst into Shrieker's folly for just a glimpse of you. Chal Moo. Sorry. Oh, yeah, okay. Moo has been consistent. It's just we're Chal, not Chul. You know our gangs can never find out about us. My Shriekers, your Sapphire Sisterhood, they'll never understand. We're rivals, I tell you, rivals. I like how they've gone with Sapphire Sisterhood instead of Jade Brotherhood. Instead of, like, the Amber Sisterhood, which is what I would have thought of. Because Amber and Jade is like the Guild Wars duality, but yeah. But her emphasis on the last... what was the last word again? They'd never understand. We're rivals, I tell you. Rivals. But her emphasis on the last word rang not as a warning in his ears, but a siren song for the longing buried deep within him. For he knew it was wrong. He threw his arms around her, pulling her trunk to his chiseled abdomen pressed against her rigid bark, till the light, stinging pain of their combined friction faded to dull pleasure with each cadenced undulation. Oh, Tantra! Oh, Chal Moo! In the sap's sweet throes of their heightened pleasure, they failed to notice that the moonlight illuminating the room now found itself eclipsed by a shadowed figure. I see your evening visits extend beyond the comforts of my mansion, Tantra. Hold on, who is this mysterious stranger? Who is this? So wait, Tantra is an equivalent of Tetra Earthcool. So whose mansion does Tetra Earthcool ever go into? Oh, is there a part 2? Does that say ... because it's actually part 1? To be continued. There's something really cringy and gross about this description here of them just rubbing against each other in a funny way, in a meaningfully gross way. It's just so weird. That's also one of the more graphic. I think they're a little bit more like cagey or clever about it in the other ones. That's basically just some like gross rubbing, which I quite like. Romance spells for the romantically inept. Charm them with this handy list of flirtation charms. Has the dating scene left you more jaded than an avowed pit mine? Are your conversation starters doubling as conversation enders? Then you, my friend, have come to the right place. Our how-to guide takes a streamlined and no-nonsense approach to all things amorous. With our simple cheat sheet of easy-to-remember incantations, you can go from limp nax... Wait, let's say that again. You can go from limp Naxi Bay fish to the alpha drake of your dating pool in no time. An additional note I thought that was going to be a disclaimer. I was getting ready to read it really quickly. An additional note in an exceptionally fine print reads, attempting and or successfully performing a libidinous? I'm sure we say that as libidinous. And I'm sure that is just like a way of saying, you know, it's like libido, but it's libidinous incantation, or unknowing or otherwise non-consenting parties is prohibited by Cantham legal code, enchantment law, blah blah blah. Romance spells for romantically inept and affiliates are not responsible for the unlawful use of this guide, which is intended for entertainment purposes only. It was a disclaimer, I see. Well, there you go. So there are romance spells canon to Tyria. I can't quite remember hearing of those before. Unless maybe some of like the taunty kind of themed mesmery spells have counters as such.
This book.
Okay, well we're looking for information on Kurzik wards, and so far we've read a bunch of complete nonsense. Let's try this one. This is really good. There's a lot of dialogue to get through here. Writing to get through. Just City Tengu, Story of Comeuppance in New Kaineng. This award-winning memoir deals with the life of a down-on-a-luck Tengu who opens the very first archery-themed tavern in New Kaineng. From quick skim of the pages, the archery-themed tavern seems to be the least interesting part of this gripping page-turner. Oh, really? Yeah, I thought there'd be one in this alcove here. Had to check. I'm scared of getting the right book first, because then we won't be able to read the other ones, right? St. Victor, a legacy encased in jade. We find ourselves at the Harvest Temple, perched on the edge of history. As Vizu's strike lands, time itself seems to pause, as if rendered a mere spectator of fate. It is here that Shiro stands, frozen, unarmed, vulnerable. From opposing sides of the room, St. Victor and Archimedes lock gazes. Together they stride, side by side, two bodies choreographed by destiny. St. Victor grabs the first of the blades. He palms the handle, still hot with Shiro's fury. Archimedes grasps the second. Each angles a blade towards Shiro's sides. Shiro inhales, closes his eyes, waits. The pierce of the blades is instantaneous. Cold, yet white-hot. Concentrated agony. And it begins. Reality imploding into pure energy. Sight and sound blur into something indistinguishable. The sheer force of life collapsing upon itself. Existence is a vast wind, a deafening hum, a hue of jade green. Then, nothing. That's really cool. You can watch that as a CGI trailer. That's a very emotive and evocative way of describing the scenario. I quite like that. I thought we were going to get a whole other book saying Archimedes. Raising your wallow the right way. So, you've brought home your new fauna family member. Congrats! Though some may find their robust appearance intimidating, these gentle giants are known for forming very strong familial bonds. But not so fast. In order to gain their trust, your wallow must be treated with both respect and patience. Proper training is key to... Your reading is interrupted by a large chunk of the page missing from the book. Upon closer inspection, it seems the page has been chewed out. You suspect the previous reader had their work cut out for them. Okay. This is... How many of these have they done? This is really good. Some of these are achievement-based that we've read previously. Wow, they've put them all out. Oh my god. Wow, this is really good, guys. I'm sorry. It's winning me over big time here. What would today constitute Reiko Murakami's rise to power began materializing during the year 1073 AE. This is Guild Wars 1 time, guys. It was during this time that Reiko, aided by her nephew Ashu, tapped into the fears of the Canthan public consciousness. And what was ailing the nation at the time was, of course, a very serious, very threatening public health crisis, the Affliction. Using her outspoken position on the Affliction and its negative runoff into Canthan society, Reiko was able to garner increasing support, solidifying both Reiku and Ashu as public figures. It's no coincidence that at about the same time, Reiko began ascending the ranks of the Ministry of Flame. However, her time with the Ministry would ultimately be short. If you guys remember, basically you do the Canthan campaign and then you leave to go do Nightfall and Eye of the North and some of the Guild Wars Beyond stuff. And when you finally come back, it's way later, and Reiko had been rising in the meantime. Reiko was able to garner increasing support, solidifying both Reiku and Ashu as public figures. I really hope this has got some tease about Ashu here, by the way. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for something about Ashu on this. It is no coincidence that at about the same time, Reiko began ascending the ranks of the Ministry of Flame. However, her time with the Ministry would be ultimately short-lived. She grew more vocal and disillusioned by what she deemed various flaws plaguing the organisation, citing various grievances ranging from bureaucratic ineptitude to complete negligence of national welfare. I wouldn't be surprised if those are quotes from the first game. Reiko concluded that a new ministry was needed to right the wrongs of the previous establishment, the Ministry of Purity. And in 1077 AE, Reiko brought this very dream to fruition. She established the Ministry of Purity. So, no Ashu tease there, but that's good. Good information for the Guild Wars 2 players. The Sower's Almanac. Due to an unprecedented rise in seasonal rainfall, this quarter's per capita output of the rutabaga crop plummeted by a whopping 16% from the previous year. Adjusting for subsidies aimed at incentivizing the mass production of coriander, your eyes glaze over as you skim pages upon pages of near incomprehensible records of harvest yields over the last several centuries. Love it. Really good. There's a library book. This is looking like the winning ticket here to me. Don't you guys think? This library book. Ready?
Ludwig's Anthology of Ward Spells. A beginner's guide to casting, disabling, and basic incantation. Sounds promising.
Think there's anything on sealing incantations?
Probably, but we'll still need some guidance. Time to pester Valeria again.
Okay, and we got the bookworm achievement as well. That means we read all the books. We found all 10. Nice! They're all perfectly laid out in the right order that we would naturally find them as we went through. Very cool. Okay, well, let's see Ludwig's Anthology of Ward Spells. A beginner's guide to casting, disabling, and basic incantation. From those who are just beginning their spellcasting journey to those who are looking for an accessible review of ward spell basics, Ludwig strives to be the go-to reference material for all manner of casting, disabling, and incantation. Since his own spellcasting journey began nearly 200 years ago, Tobias Ludwig sought to dedicate his life to the study of ward spell. Wait, hold on. He's over 200 years old. Ultimately, this pursuit grew to include what Ludwig would eventually refer to as his life's calling, teaching. His introduction to ward spells was as humble as his roots. After putting in an exhausting day's work on his family's farm, and he and his twin brother Elias would retire to the barn and blow off steam the way that siblings do best, smacking each other senseless. It was these formative years of roughhousing that gave Ludwig ample opportunity to test out his spellcasting skills. Elias proved a worthy and more than willing opponent, and since Tobias had no desire to cause actual damage to his brother, not to mention that their mother would have been furious, protection wards became his personal favourite. Hard to imagine that sibling roughhousing would get the ball rolling on what would eventually become some of the most groundbreaking developments in magical defensive work of the modern age. It just means it's a really old book. I see? Question mark? Also, all these names are familiar to me, but I don't know why. Tobias, Elias, Ludwig, were they henchmen or something?
Wait, this book. This is
smut. Yes. Mr. Coldclaw gave me.
I like the way she says yes to that. It's smut. Yes. Very good. Alright, are you ready to have another conversation with Rama across the house? Here we go.
Oh, welcome back, bookworms. Oh, is that Ludwig's Anthology?
Oh, Ludwig.
Classic. Try anything out yet?
Well, we have no idea what we're doing.
Don't beat yourself up. This takes years to master.
Time is a luxury we don't have.
You won't become experts overnight, but with a simple spell and a competent teacher, you might pull it off.
How free is the rest of your day looking?
I'm flattered, but this is above my skill level. You'd be better off asking the steward at the Historical Society. She managed to disable wards on some Zoo Heltzer relics. Not sure if she can cast or not, but she's a great resource.
No, not Elias. No, guys. It was spelled Elias. E-L-I-A-S. Not. I would never forget Elias. Not at all. Elias is too big of a character, I think. But the day I forget Elias and characters of that caliber, I mean, that will be a moment, really. No, it was Elias. Elias.
There's a cat island?
There's a cat island? I really like that line until I heard it 50 times.
Hello. What brings you to me today? I am a steward of truth and research for the preservation of Kurzik history.
We're new to casting, sealing wards, but it's, not going great.
How did you come into possession of an ancient sealing ward? They're highly uncommon.
It was, passed down to me by my uncle. A real jerk of an uncle. By marriage, no relation. But I want to learn how to use it, and Valeria said you're the person to talk to.
Oh, she's very kind. Though, I mainly practice in disabling wards. But some basic sealing work shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, an Ascalon weaponsmith doesn't sound right, no. And not that there isn't an Ascalon weaponsmith, I just mean it's not relevant.
With intent. Visualize your desired outcome.
Easy enough. I seal this pass before me. 2 worlds, once whole, divide, and...
Oh shit. You summoned a bunch of elementals, Rama. Oh, they're not all going to attack, are they? I'd rather pull them over so we can hit them all at once.
Your delivery is a bit stiff. Say it as if the voices of all your ancestors who mastered this art now speak through you.
I'll try to do that. Okay. Clearly with intent. Whew. Visualize. I seal this pass before me. 2 worlds, once whole, divide. Withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside.
Good, good. Now, you'll need to assist your friend. To bring the ritual to completion, you must arrange each conjured orb in the shape of the rune you're casting.
But what's the shape of the rune? Oh, just in all the spots, maybe? I like this. This feels like proper classic spellcasting, yeah? Eh? Oh, do I need to walk into it and then tap the button? I see. I thought I was throwing them. 2. 3. I'm really liking this patch right now, by the way. Genuinely, I think all the missions have been alright, and there's been a good amount of story, and it doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon. I'm pretty much really into this at the moment.
That's it! Oh, you did splendidly. And to think, you've only just started out.
It actually worked. We're not a bad team, Commander. Well, I think we're ready to go take this one out for a spin. Thanks for your help.
My pleasure. Blood relatives or not, I'm sure your uncle would be terribly proud of you.
Don't know about that. Though he was actually helpful, for once. In an unintentional sort of way.
Alright, there we go. Emotional release. So, regroup with your allies in the delve to go over the plan. Suddenly now I'm a little bit worried this is it, actually. I really should have clicked the Aurene thing. I really, really should have clicked the Aurene thing. Is it possible that the ArenaNet thinks there's nothing even relevant to go over with Aurene right now? Surely not. Do you think Aurene will be a fixture of the next mini-X pack? We're going back up. Doesn't the elevator come down? Yeah, nice. I suppose I technically could sky scale my way up there if I really wanted to. I love the sound of this elevator. It's really good.
Were you able to get the seal working?
Yep.
Yeah, I managed to conjure it, but it took a few tries. Plus, I had help.
You prepared as best you could given the situation. Everyone has.
I love the way he's sitting there.
How are you doing, Commander?
Ready to put all of this to rest.
You can say that again. If everything's set over here, I'll go alert my crew. We've got siege turtles ready to mobilize by way of an old Luxon mining passage. Help you lure that thing to the surface. We'll head through first, clear things out. Then you come through and seal those exits. You need me? I'll be on comms.
Need some backup? Finn and I...
Stay with your friends. They need you. Oh, and, Detective, when you're done with that seal, it's yours. You're the one who knows how to use it, so do what you will with it. Good luck out there.
Oh, what a good guy. Timmy still seems so enormous in there. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at her. She's like a mega Asura. Okay. Hello, Rama. Guess it's time to see if all our practice paid off, huh? You already managed once. At this point, it will just be showing off. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Think I got it down, and the seal's mine now anyway, so might as well get comfortable using it. Is this nightmare over yet? Lab work felt like a vacation compared to this. You've been making a name for yourself here in the thick of things. That's high praise from someone who goes by the Commander. Guess you bring out the fighter in me, but I should probably get through this before basking in compliments. Chalmu just sighs. Agreed, but it's almost over. About time. Well, no use stalling. Already did enough of that. Just focus on what needs to be done. Stay strong. Beep boop. Do you require encouragement to aid you in facing the formidable yet plausibly insurmountable task ahead? Sure. Go you. You have got this. No one can do this quite like you. You are the real MVP here. MVP, an abbreviation for most valuable person or player. Context dependent. Hurrah, go get him, Tiger. That's quite funny. Ah, you've come a long way, Finn. Good for you. Thank you for taking note of my deliberate strides towards personal improvement. Positive reinforcement registered. Beep boop. Guess yeah, I was right about positive reinforcement. You know, you do seem more centered. Am I sensing some newfound resolve? Maybe a bit. Stepping away to reflect had its uses. It's not usually a bad idea every now and then for anyone. Doesn't mean everything will be smooth sailing from here, but sometimes even a little good goes a long way for staying motivated. There's some truth to that. That's something I've needed to hear over time. Certainly. Alchemy, is it finally time to set a plan into action? Oh, but what if I missed something? I could have ran a few more tests or gathered more samples, or... You ran a science lab out of a tent in a mine. I think you've done more than enough. Thanks, Commander. With something this critical, it's hard not to feel like you could have done a little bit more. I know the feeling. But you've already done so much yourself. If it's any help, some of your most difficult work may very well be behind you already. Maybe, I don't know. Appreciate the sentiment. It's all very introspective, isn't it? Right, here we go. Entrapment. So, this is it, obviously. I mean, this has got to be the end. Feels about right in terms of the timing. And that does disappoint me somewhat, but let's not get too bogged down with that. What the fuck could they do here over the space of one story patch that segues us into a mini X-Pack? And don't forget as well, the preview of all of this talked about how Oni would be spawning around the world after you do this. So, I assume this isn't all going to go well. This is not just the end of the patch. This is the end of Dragons era of patches. This is the only end. This is it now for End of Dragons. And if you think of End of Dragons as the end of the Dragon Saga, this is the end. No, okay, that's probably a bit much now. Here we go, Entrapment. I don't know what we're in for here. Oh look, it's the The teaser we had all that time ago.
This is it. We practiced, we prepared, and now it's time to take action. Ready?
I had a better cat. Yeah, I want to play this version. This feels better.
Okay, Commander. You'll want to get fairly close to it. Entice it a little with the recollector.
Use a recollector to divert the ravenous wanderer's attention away from the ley line. It's just been waiting for us, has it? Nobody else wants to speak to us. Where are we? We're in the new part. I've never seen this. We're in the new part of the map now. So that's the end of the previous meta back there somewhere. And there's walls. Oh yeah, those are the platforms. So there's walls now open. So we torn.
Here it comes, and it does not look happy. Run!
Oh, it's back there. It just says run. Shit.
All right. Visualize with intention. Voices of your ancestors. Let's go.
Just like we practiced, Commander. Distract those pests any way you can. Stun them, smack them, whatever works.
I seal this pass before I keep screwing it up. Why can't I remember?
Oh, sorry.
You have some nerve showing your face here. Don't tell me they let you out of prison.
Oh, who's he talking about?
Commander, help me get those demons away from him.
I gotta fight slow because it's gonna cut dialogue if I press buttons. What did he just mean there with that? Who does Rama know this? Wait, Lee? You have some nerve showing your face here. Don't tell me they let you out of prison. He's saying Lee. It must be Lee. Well, hold on. Let me kill these twisted scalp. Are they just infinitely respawning? Do I taunt this away again? Defeat demons while Rama attempts to cast the sealing incantation. I've been feeling a bit worried about Rama with this. Oh my god, that beep actually made me shit myself.
No! The recollector is draining way too fast!
They're recovering faster than I can stop them.
We're too close to the ley line. We need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Don't bring her into this. Besides, why would I trust anything you tell me? What? She said that? No, she would never. Would she?
Is this that's what's her name? The girl he was flirting with. Oh no, not that. Shit. It's okay, Rama, I got you. Don't go mad on me, man. One. Well, this is handy. That Timey can just tank everything. Can't I be in the golem again? I really thought that this
Rama,
man was going to have me in the golem.
Can you hear me? Visualize. With intent. Your ancestors. Remember?
Visualize. With intent. My ancestors.
I seal this pass.
I seal this pass before me. Two worlds, once whole, divide, withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside.
This is such a cool incantation, by the way.
Commander, gods, that was
a nightmare. I know.
Thanks. Let's get the hell out of here.
Sorry, is the ravenous one just... Was I meant to fight it first? Is it meant to just be standing there attacking? I'm gonna have to go around... Well, I could Jade bot. Oh, we broke combat anyway. I feel like I've broken this.
We're making steady progress, but it's a real mess out here.
Just can't believe... I mean, we used to know them.
I know, kid. Hold tight. You'll be through this before you know it.
I was expecting a lot more Yao Cholmu drama this patch as well. Oh, it is still chasing. I mean, what if I just stood there and hit it? I'm sure it would just regen, probably.
Recollector's completely drained.
What do we do now?
Think, Goric, think! The Jade! Try using the Jade. Just trust me.
Really? Do we gather it? Oh, he put a lot of bleed on me there. Oh, I have evasive volcano. I didn't use the 5. Power of the Recollector by collecting Jade. So why can we use Jade for this now then?
Think you're too good for us, Yao? There's the door.
You can't handle that someone else is better than you. And reality check, she is. Maybe now I can accomplish what I want to without you holding me back.
You know how much I've done for you? You ungrateful brat! Get out!
I didn't think I said it to him like that. Did I? I do sound like a total brat.
Wait, are we looking at an actual memory of Yao's? Or is this just another hallucination?
I think it's showing us memories. Perhaps Yao's concern for Cho Mu is being amplified by the Jade corruption. We're likely seeing a memory reflective of their mental state. Yao, did it really happen this way?
Did I always treat him like that? How could he stand me?
Yao, you don't want to go down that path. Trust me.
Maybe he was happy I left. And he didn't have to deal with me anymore.
I'm trying very hard not to make too much, because I don't know how long these conversations are going to go. Like, that one went on quite a while. I like Gorik's just standing there and occasionally putting himself in a photon, shit, what's it called? Photon shield? Barrier? Hard light shield? Get another one. This is the last one, I think. Even though there's a lot more X's we could click, this is the last one. Oh, I guess not.
That did it.
Oh, no,
Just like my research said, the Jade's been absorbing the demon's influence, which means...
It's absorbing memories. Gorek, you're a genius.
Just a scientist with a few good theories.
You there? Hello? Anyone?
Chilmu? What's wrong?
Listen. She's back. She's screwing with me. Don't believe a word she says, Yao. Promise me. You have to promise.
Okay, I promise. Who are you?
Stop! Stop!
What is he talking about? Who's back? Or who does he think is back?
It's likely he's hallucinating too. We'll get to him as soon as we possibly can.
But if we're too late...
Yeah, who are they talking about? I'm guessing they were talking about June, right? A minute ago. But now it's some mystery person. So hold on here, I think I'm just... I don't know why they added that new resurrect system. You could just press F on timey. It's weird that you just have to stand near them now, you know. You think June again? But Yao sort of understood June was the topic before. But Yao doesn't understand that now. Also, does that really... Back? When was June ever there as far as Cholmu's concerned? Alright, another incantation. Where are we on the map? Looks like we still got a bit to do here, to be honest. Holy fuck, you fucked me up. I was just about to say, it's a bit odd that he's just there. It makes him seem very unthreatening, you know, that... But I guess we just got to think about the fact that our allies are badasses that are, like, taking all the blows. This one... The captain that jumped him and jumped off the ledge. What, at the start of the previous patch? Lissa. I like how you can say anything, and if it's mysterious and it's female, Lissa. I mean, it's a good guess. Chalmu used to be childhood friends with Lissa, and now she's back. See?
Me. Two worlds, once whole, divide, withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside.
Yo, you there? What did you do to them? If you hurt that kid, I swear, I'll kill you again. And this time I'll mean it. It's me you want. Yo had nothing to do with this. They were just trying to help.
Huh? Chalmu?
They were always trying to help. And then they were gone. And now everyone's gone.
Can you hear me? We're coming for you. Just hold on. We need to get to him. Now.
Ride the zip lines to quickly reach Chalmu in the next chamber. You know what this reminds me of, this barricade? Those wards that are in place in like Harathi. You know, at the back of Harathi near the centaurs? It's exactly like that to me. Man, you get so many boons in PvE. It's fucking nuts, the boons. Alright, let's go on up. That's not with a battery, by the way. That's just catalyst. Ready, team? Oh, cool. It's a nice fast one. Oh my god. Are they coming up with it? They are. I like this. Very cinematic. Oh, and they're jumping. I have the big Jade bot upgrade for the super boost, so I can go quite high here. Oh wow! I guess in the open world this is all content here, eh? It somewhat worries me that arrow's all the way back there, but I'm gonna assume it didn't bug or anything. Whoa, you guys okay? Oh, he's here again. What's the idea? Am I meant to just use the buttons to keep him away? I wonder what's going on the surface here.
He's here! Chalmu, are you alright?
What do you want from me? Just tell me, damn it!
He's no idea what's going on. And now the crew's in chaos. Let's clear things out and see if that helps.
Beat back the Jade Brotherhood members that the Ravenous Wanderers turn against you. 2 out of 9. I thought for a second when I skimmed that objective text that actually it was saying something very different.
You asked for it.
Poor Jade Brotherhood. They're not actually that evil in this story or anything, but we end up beating the shit out of so many of them anyway. Eight out of 9. I've missed one. Oh, he's over there. Here, detainer. Okay. Chalmu. Oh.
Stay back! What the hell is wrong with you? You're completely unhinged!
Oh, he threw someone off.
I didn't know it was her. She attacked me. I didn't know what was going on. I'm sorry, Bina. Jin Lee. Malchin. I'm so sorry.
That's Bina? So, this is real. But that's not your fault. You couldn't have known what was wrong with her. And it was an accident.
Clear away the demonic influence surrounding Chong. I find this very hard to follow, guys. Because again, I don't know who any of these characters are. Are they his family? Did he assault and attack, possibly kill, throw his own family over the edge? Is that the thing? My only problem here is if I don't combo properly, if they're doing a lot of knockdowns like they are, I'm going to get CC chained. Because you want to combo for the stab. Actually, I'm not even running that trait, am I? That's where the boons are lost, isn't it? Probably be better to put Armor of Earth on instead of Signet of Fire.
They made fun of my arm.
They do it again. You punch them with it. And if they still don't get the message, I'll introduce them to mine.
Find some food for Chalmu to offer to the youngster. So a food stand. This is a mount disabled instance, by the way. So I can still Jade bot around. So we're seeing these like echoes of the past.
You alone, kid? What are you doing out so late? The hell's wrong with your parents? Hungry? Take it. We've got plenty. Pretty cold tonight. You get sick of shivering, drop by the Blue Orchid. We'll get you set up. Ask for Cholmu. What the hell was I doing? I thought...
It's okay. We'll talk. Just wanted to remind you that you've done a lot of good, too.
I'm sorry you got dragged into this mess. Along with everyone else. It's about time I got us out of it. I need to get back to the crew. I'll see you when all of this is finished.
This is a very weird instance. It's very casual and chatty, but we're in mortal danger as it goes. Do you know what I mean? It's very oddly paced, this. Make a break for the surface. It's good that we just had time to have that nice little break and remind him he's done some good too while we flee for our lives. I'm very curious what this is like in the open world. Feels very ambient, very narrow. I can't imagine what kind of events they'd have here. I'm not sure I need to be killing these abyssals. I feel like it's the kind of thing where you'd put an achievement to kill all the abyssals and things on the way up. And we're out. Oh, by the way, I haven't had music on the whole time. That's probably ruined the ambience. And we've just made it now and the music stopped. Really sorry about that. It's because we put on the goddamn Civ soundtrack and I never turned it back up. I felt like there was a missing component there. It was that. I'm so sorry. Look, it's calm now. There was probably cool new combat music there as well. Probably. Alright, the big boss moment. Oh.
This thing just won't quit. What are we supposed to do now? It's gigantic.
I think it's afraid. So it's making itself seem worse than it really is.
We cut it off from the ley line. It must know it's out of options.
I think Yao had the right idea by blocking its manipulation through positive memories. Let's see if we can produce a similar result.
Very cool. This is clearly like an anomaly, right? This is like a fucked up anomaly type thing. Legendary Ravenous Wanderer. And look, we are in time for the music. We've got the good music right here. Oh, I'm very happy there's a proper boss here and something new. Doesn't look like anything that I've fought in the game before. Which is excellent. So what do they want me to do? Just break the walls? collect lay energy. Oh, okay. The walls release the energy. I press F on it. 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, the jade looks a bit like the jade that was in Glint's Lair, in the Glint's Lair missions. 4, 5. Blast the Wanderer with the Recollector to weaken it. Oh, only with the skill 3. Mind you, that is basically like void stuff. Lend back up to Yao so they can conjure a positive memory.
You're one of mine, kid. No matter where life takes you, you'll always have a home if you need one. Promise.
I quite like their relationships. I really do. The Haze Hearts. Of course, making me think of the Elder Dragon Hearts. Oh, sorry. You probably want me to break it, don't you? Oh, I wasn't close enough. We can get it, though, with the Dazing Leap. Okay, and do it again. Probably have to help Rama next. Oh, I didn't press F. It's weird they have me fighting the Jade Walls, and he has a PvAOE, but I'm safe from it as long as I'm hitting the walls. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you'd think that you would be in danger. Probably a fun achievement to do this without getting hit by something. One of these animations. Okay, who do we want to help now? Oh, well, we got to blast him again. Lend help to Rama. Holy shit, it just one-shots them all. The Skelp survived. Colgrath, thank you very much, man. You're the only person I see using that super chat thing lately, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Look at us, a couple of do-gooders about to begin our lives of fighting crime together.
Yeah. Look at us.
Destroy the Haze Core again. I don't get Rama's drama. What's the drama with Rama at the moment? And Min. I get that he's sort of into her, but like, what were they hinting at a second ago? Have I missed that, or I assume it might just be resolved later? Well, that was a really nice grand finale, if I do say so myself. Whoopsie. My mouse is doing a weird thing where it like skips to the side, and I don't know why. I'll tell you what though, guys. For years, right? For years and years and years, across multiple PCs, you know I use a Logitech G600, and I've always complimented it, said that I've never had any issues, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, for years and years and years, I've had an issue where I turn on my PC, and the mouse sensitivity's fucked up. But it's fucked up in a very specific, odd way, where the vertical sensitivity is incredibly high. Like, the slightest feather of a movement will cause it to move, 1,000 pixels up, or just crazy sensitivity up, down. But really slow sensitivity left, right. Sometimes when I turn my PC on, it would just be like that. And for years now, I've never known why or how to fix it. I've just had to restart the PC. Just restart the PC, restart the PC, restart, and hopefully eventually one time when I load it, it won't do that anymore. That's what I've been doing for years. I found out yesterday that it's because one of my profiles on the G600 had that messed up sensitivity. And simply by hitting a hotkey, like mouse 6 or whatever, one of the special little buttons on it, it would stop it and fix it. I figured out like 2 days ago, yesterday, 2 days ago, and it's blown my mind. I have honestly restarted my PC hundreds of times over the years and realized all I had to do was click a little button that was right next to my finger on the mouse the whole time. And alternatively, now that I've diagnosed it, I could just fix it by changing the profile. But yeah, oh my god, man. Alright, here we go. Now that thrilling story's over. Let's hit the 3. Oh, we're going to back up Goric and Timey as well, are we? Okay. This is quite cool. This is not what I expected for a big demon boss fight. It's cool, don't get me wrong. And I'm interested in the idea we might be going back to anomaly stuff.
Oh, Tiny, right? Blish mentioned you'd be dropping by. He speaks very highly of you. Pleasure to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Did she flirt with him the second that they met? Head in the clouds, tousled blonde locks. Can't remember, when exactly did they meet? It was around, POF. Sort of fuck this one up, in terms of breaking the bar. Mind you, can I just... I really should be using this a lot more. The issue with this boss fight from like an entertainment standpoint is they're not adding anything to it each loop, you know? Or if they are, it's so small that it's not doing anything. You know, each time it goes on, there should be some new mechanic I'm dealing with or something. But it seems to me I just do the same thing 4 times in a row. Oh, mind you, I got pulled there, have I? Or maybe pushed actually by Crystal. Yeah, I kind of don't. I'm kind of lost a bit with this. What do they mean? Memory is in the jade. I need to think about this or play it again at the very least.
If anyone can do this, it's you, Commander.
We've got your back.
We've already made it this far.
We believe in you, Commander. Always.
Focus my thoughts on positive memories. Oh, what's that icon? That feels reminiscent some way to something. I don't know what though. Focus thoughts. Positive memories, guys. Let's remember the good times the commanders had. Like when we drank in that whiskey bar. When we were a char. What positive times isn't a Surad?
I'm proud that you saved so many innocents.
Thank you, Almora.
Thanks to you, I've been reminded that no matter how bad things seem...
Why are they all dead people, though?
Friends.
Nobody believed I had courage. Not even me. And then you came along.
It was your bravery that led us to safety, my friend. I'm grateful to you.
Oh, wow. It's great to hear Trahan's voice. Oh, and that was quite a cool line as well. I spoke over it, but it's time. Okay. Oh. See, this is so weird. They've got all these animations and things, but all I'm going to do is just press 3 and it's going to end. I suppose the open world meta gives us more of a look at these. Confer with your friends now that you've defeated the Wanderer. Oh, it's dead. The music's not over, but it's dead. Yeah! Woo! Fanfare.
Did we really just kill that thing with the power of positive thinking? You know, normally that kind of crap annoys me, but I do feel a lot better. Maybe that's just the adrenaline talking. Nice work out there, Commander.
Yeah, it's just the adrenaline. When he calms down, he's gonna think, "Ah, that's annoying."
Well, I'm totally drained, but kind of warm and fuzzy, in a weird way. Is this how it felt when you collected memories? No wonder you're exhausted, Commander. Yeah, you deserve a nap. Hell, we all do.
So, thanks for helping back there. Oh, both of you.
Same to you. Both of you. And for the first time, of many still to come, I can officially say Case closed.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Alright, if the first mini X-Pack doesn't end with Gorick saying case closed, and then the second mini X-Pack doesn't end with Gorick saying case closed, and the fifth one has, like, us standing over Gorick's grave as we say case closed, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I can see it now. I can see it spreading out before me already. By the way, we were wearing the jade thing on our back the whole time. Okay. Post-scene dialogue does not appear to be any. But it does say leave the area to plan your next move. Fifth one, coffin closed. But what? Okay. This was not a setup patch in the way that I thought it was at all. It's more like this was just a really little mini story, right? Oh, here we go. Read a mail from Rama. Hey, Commander. Long time no see. I've got a favour to ask. Since we're done dealing in demons, thank gods, are we? I thought I'd give the whole Red Duck Tea House get-together another go. Fine, I'll level with you. Truth is, I've asked Min to dinner at the tea house, but the closer it is, I need I need a wingman. The more I worry, I'll screw the whole thing up. For as much BS as you all drag me into, I think having a few friends here would help things go a lot smoother. Gorick and Time, you've already agreed to show. If you wouldn't mind swinging by for a bit, I'd appreciate it. Why do you need us? We're just going to be a fifth wheel. You got a double date there? I don't need to go there. With nobody. You know, I haven't hooked Liz up with anyone. Or for all the people who, you know, really got the hots for Rama throughout End of Dragons, they'll just sit there jealous now. I think it's cruel what we're doing here now. Hey, somebody! Thank you very much! With a donation of 10 SGD. I don't actually know what that currency is, but I really appreciate that. Thank you. Just like I said to Coggrath earlier. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go up this way. I still don't know quite the easiest way to go there. I'm impressed that there's more. If the patch had just ended right there, I think I would have had a lot to say. I think I'm going to have a lot to say anyway. But I'm very happy that there's this extra scene here at the end. At least one. Do you think there'll be a twist?
The fish market.
I really want there to be a twist. I'm suddenly realizing that these two patches were not what I thought they were. I thought they were like a segue. I thought that they were, okay, we're going from End of Dragons into this new thing. I thought this would be a setup for the future stories of Tyria. And as far as, like, we spent a bit of time with the detective agency, I suppose it was, but... Them saying, oh, I guess demons are done, is interesting, because they didn't say it in a tee-hee, that's going to be wrong kind of way, did they? They didn't say it in in an ironic kind of, oh, if only they knew sort of thing. There's no tension in there. It's just sort of resolved, isn't it? It feels like this was a mini-story. This was like a, what's the word for that? And I guess the fact that Oni will be attacking all around the world really has nothing to do with the story. Oh my god, what? We didn't even have to go to the tea house. Wait, am I forgetting which one's the tea house? That'll serve me right for not just looking at the minimap. Here we'll get a sense of the people who have beaten it. It was a good length, by the way. 2.5 hours.
Such a good idea. She's very nice.
And her plumage is just gorgeous.
Commander, perfect timing. You read Rama's letter?
Sounds like he needs some support with this whole Min situation.
Luckily, he has us to back him up. Gork and I'll be there to help. Although, we were thinking...
It might be nice if you also had someone to bring with you.
Oh?
Since we're pressed for time, we decided to take some initiative and...
Reached out to some local friends to see if they're busy tonight.
You didn't.
Don't worry, Commander. There's no pressure whatsoever. We're just there to have a good time and to help Rama.
What? So, okay, so it is a double date. And we... I quite like this. So we get to pick someone, do we? Alright, Commander. You've got some fine choices here. Who will you bring? Canuck, Yao, or Yumi? Oh, that's really interesting. I kind of want to... I'd like to do all three of them because I want the information from all three of them. Canuck, everyone's going to do Canuck, aren't they? Everyone's going to go Canuck. I can already see in chat everyone saying Canuck, 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 Canuck. The Canuck, bro, it's been building for a decade. See, I'm curious about going to dinner with a Tengu, but to be honest, both of these two are such bland characters. I mean, I seriously nothing Ayumi, and I only just above nothing Yao because I've spent so much time in this last patch actually getting a little bit of story there. Let's do Canuck. He hasn't had a look in otherwise. Let's do Canuck. Fuck it. Great choice, Commander. Head over to Club Canuck to meet with him. Oh, what? You haven't arranged it then. I've got to arrange it. Hold on. Club Canuck is closed unless you have the Arborstone Mastery done. Yeah, exactly, Banjo. Is this not an opportunity to get to know Ayumi? Exactly. That's kind of why I want to pick Ayumi, because I nothing Ayumi right now. But I think that the Tengu were really sort of... They did some really great like visuals for Tengu in this expansion, but I don't think they really had any fun with them, did they? There's no Tengu main characters, really. I mean, Ayumi is about as close as you get and sort of feels very sidelined. Okay, what? Oh, is he here? Oh, he is here. Oh, yeah, of course, he's really deep down. Club guards. Yeah, let me in. Hello, can I... Oh, there's a guy there who just picked him. To what do I owe the pleasure? Oh, I can be dignified or charming. This is really good. Oh, this is genuine. Look, the big ticket story stuff is kind of falling apart here, I think, a bit. But the little moments, there's a lot good about this patch, I think. Okay, so dignified. I'm very happy with this. This is very cool. I can look for some, say, looking for some excitement. How would you like to dash? Or charming, cancel your plans. You're having dinner with me tonight. It's interesting. I just want to take you out of the game for a second and let's analyze how the user interface affects the experience here. Because if this was not charming... See here, because they've put a heart there, it's charming. I know it's flirty. Sadly, when I mouse over it, it doesn't have the full thing. But I know it's kind of flirty or whatever. If they had put ferocious there, there'd be a very different vibe, wouldn't there? To cancel your plans, you're having dinner with me tonight. Oh, let's do the heart. Cancel your plans, you're having dinner with me tonight.
I thought you'd never ask. Already picked out my suit. What do you think?
Looking very sharp.
Naturally. Sorry about your poor friends, though.
Poor friends?
Well, we're obviously going to upstage them. Look at us. We're stunning.
Let's knock them dead.
Oh, I quite like this. I really do. I think it's good and it's bold and it's a nice initiative to see ArenaNet actually. I don't know whether this is a full-on romance, but at least you can flirt. Yeah, it would be like cancel your plans or else. Yes, exactly, yeah. It wouldn't quite have the same vibe. And then it's interesting to me that you could actually have the same text, but just with both icons there. You could ferociously say it or you could charmingly say it. New expansion is dating options. I don't know. I mean, people would probably eat it up. I'll probably be down for it, as long as it's funny where it needs to be, or interesting where it needs to be. Okay, and now we go to the tea house. So sort of jump the gun a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, I really do have to compliment this patch in terms of, like, the little moments. And there is some meat to it. There's actually, you know, there's more than the last patch had. There were all those lore books that we got to read. I think I think some of it's been a bit iffy. The boss has some good pluses to it, but also it was a bit weird to me. The tunnel escape instance was a bit odd. And I'm not quite sure I followed the story, to be honest. I mean, is that just me being stupid? Am I just being thick? I'm fully willing to acknowledge that I've been a bit thick. Because I don't really retain or relax or digest information when I do it blind live like this. I'll probably have to play it again. But still, I don't know, man. It feels, This must be built into the next X pack. I refuse to believe that the demon thing is over because it's just too random. For this just to be a little story to tide us over. There's no way. There's no way. I think it's still going to be about demons going forwards. The whole emotion thing and I mean, the thing is though, it kind of does make sense as a mini, like almost filler arc. If the idea is, oh, let's give the commander some happiness. Let's give the commander some therapy, guys. Let's give the commander a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Let's hear them laugh. If that's the aim of the double patch, I can now actually see that maybe they would move on from the demon stuff completely. Where does that leave us as a current community, though, in terms of like speculating about the future and whatnot? I'll say it again. I hope there's a twist. Here we go, full circle. It's not a good sign that I just got a donation for $5. Thank you very much, Bunny Lord Quinn, but saying I felt very meh and a touch let down by the patch. And the worst part of it, no date with Snargle or Ritlock. Well, they're probably internally shipping Ritlock with Creature,
We're
aren't
all
they?
here now. Perfect. It's showtime.
See, as funny as this might be, I also do think it's a bit... This is not the kind of storytelling I'm that into. But let's see what we've got. Let's have therapy and go on a date, basically, are the two big ticket items. Shall we? Let's help out our pal, or let's turn some heads. Let's turn some heads.
Canuck, don't you look dapper?
Well, I could say the same for you, Commander.
What is this?
Pull off the whole badass with a noble cause look flawlessly.
Hell yeah, I do. Why do I get the feeling you say that to all the girls? Why do I get the feeling you say that to all the commanders when they come here into this instance? Why don't you say something particular about me, like the colour of my eyes and the fact that they match,
Well,
you know, my
look
back piece?
who it is.
Oh, hello.
It's been a while, Commander. Glad you both could make it.
I like how there's intense music as well at the moment. Hello.
You look lovely, Tiny.
Oh, Gorik, this is what I always look like.
This is weird.
Exactly.
Oh, stop. I mean, you can also keep going, but, you know, well, you're not so hard on the eyes yourself.
Oh.
I should get a face cam. The face I'm pulling right now.
You people again?
With my eyes
Do you
creased.
know how long it took me to
Eyebrows
clean up your
creased.
confetti last time? I find it in my dreams. We do have a no-seat list, you know, so try acting civilized. Or your name will be right there next to Park Chul-Mu.
Canuck, namesake and visionary behind Arborstone's famous Club Canuck. Positively charmed.
Minister of Security, Min.
Are you named after the Ministry, or is the Ministry named after you? You're with the authorities?
I am the authorities. Though I don't get out to Arborstone much.
I wouldn't recommend it. Nothing to see out there. Boring, really. Who's hungry? Waiter!
That's quite good.
Do to get service
I'm
around
impressed by this, because obviously this is all optional dialogue based on who we picked.
You may want to at least try it this time. The lover's maki takes twice as long to prepare, you know.
Can we push the tables together?
I thought you hated sushi.
I do. It's just that last time I thought you might be stopping by, so I ordered it because it made me think of you.
Sushi made you think of me? Because you hate it?
Smooth.
No.
Is this heart-shaped?
Although anatomically incorrect, Min, did you know the actual shape of the human heart
Gorik's
resembles
great.
a closed fist?
Oh, that's...
Commander, do something.
Very good, I like
Let us
that.
go to sushi topic.
Oh, please tell me. Okay, do you know what the funniest thing that ArenaNet ever could have written there would have been? When Timey opened her communicator and said, "Psst, Commander, do something, get us off the sushi topic." Min should have immediately said, I can hear you. That would have been very funny. Alright, well, how do I... Can we please push the tables together? I think I interact with my food and I talk about my lovely, unappetizing... What is that? Kiwi on ham? Oh, sorry. Break... Oh, here we go. Point in a random direction, break my glass, or bust a move. I'm gonna be tame. Look over there.
Hey, what's that over there?
I believe that's a wall, Commander.
How strange. Swear I saw Empress Inn walk by.
Me too. How bizarre is that?
Extremely.
She's overseas right now. Didn't you hear about her visiting Divinity's Reach?
We haven't kept up with the news for the past few weeks.
So, anyway, Rama tells me that you're doing PI work these days?
That's correct. We're pioneering our new detective agency and just wrapped up our first case.
That's neat. What's your agency called?
Actually, I wanted to bring that up. I got a little ahead of myself with the agency and filing the paperwork and, well, I chose Friends Detectives because it was an agency founded by friends and it made perfect sense.
Oh.
But when I stopped and thought about it, I realized that me picking the name for us misses the whole friendship part. Then I got another idea. I ran it by Jory and she loves it. But I'd like your input before I proceed with it, Rama.
Let's hear it.
Brim and Scarab. See, the Scarab is an obvious homage to my love of beetles, and the brim refers to your hat. I also proposed Big Hat Detectives, but Jory was concerned the name wouldn't be taken seriously.
I really like it. It's got sort of an old-timey feel to it, yeah, in a good way. And it's really thoughtful.
It's classy and sweet. Rama here. Brim and Scarabs on the case.
I'm sold.
So they've gone with like a legs on the wheel man type thing. If any of you guys know what legs on the wheel man is. But, you know, that's the thing, isn't it? With old, like, duo buddy detective things like that, you know, that you could have each character's name in there. That is the weirdest name. I never would have... I mean, are they already going with that? Okay. Oh, I can chat with... This is quite cool. Ask for the check straight away. No. Chat with Goric, Timey, Rama, Min, or my partner, which is obviously Canuck. Let's talk to Goric. Enjoying yourself, Commander? I know I am. Your name suggestion for the agency was very thoughtful. Thank you. I was more careful about considering everyone's taste this time around. Normally, I'd never let anyone set me up like this, but you chose well. Well, of course, Commander. Who knows you better than Timey and I do? Well, depending on how things go, perhaps someone else might get to know you quite well. Don't push it. Timey's been checking you out this whole time. Oh, you know, I thought I detected an uptick in eye contact. I'll be sure to return the favour over dessert. I'm sure she'll be flattered. So they're like full on an item now, are they? Chat with Timey, my gal pal. Commander, I think it's working. Rama and Min seem very cozy. Oh, that reminds me. Rama's when she said, "What's the name of the agency?" and he went, that was very funny. I like that a lot. Did you catch those sultry glances? True. And I think this will work out for them. I know that's not a chuckle, but hey. Oh, and what about your sultry glances at Goric? Oh, Commander, but really, do you think he noticed? Yes, in fact, I'm sure of it. Yeah, and he had a weird, clinical way of describing it. Rama, how's it going? Be straight with the Commander, how am I doing? Well, I think asking me that in the middle of the day is not a good move, but let's just suspend our disbelief here. I think she's enjoying herself. Really? Well, I had a few jokes prepped in case there's an awkward silence. Think I should? Yeah, let's hear them. No, come on. Ask me why the mower crossed the road. To get to the other side. No, don't overthink it. You're doing great. I bet Min would be even more impressed if you flexed your bicep, if you overcame your hatred of sushi. One challenge at a time, Commander. Fair enough. Seriously, as I read that, that's what popped into my head. Chat with Min, who's essentially a stranger. Happy you made it, Commander. Glad you're keeping Rama busy. Speaking of busy, how are things at the Ministry? They're busy. Even we're feeling some stress. Even we're feeling some stress from the whole energy fiasco. This was so weird. The energy fiasco was barely looked. I know it was like the reason for these 2 patches, but it felt like it was sort of not even looked at. You know, not one scene where there was like a blackout and a bunch of thugs attacked us on the street. Despite the fact that the game engine and the assets that are built into Kaineng and stuff have the ability to have the lights toggled on and off because the meta event is already a blackout. Didn't utilize any of it. Hopefully some good will come from our findings. Oh, I'm sure of it. I just need to get past some bureaucratic hurdles, and there's always... So what's this shit about Jade and memory? What does this mean? Does it mean anything for, like, Jade tech? Our memories? Demons, mists, spirits powering the... Is it like demon electricity? Isn't that sort of the thing in Doom? Isn't that the Doom storyline? Where they invent like a power source by tapping into hell on Mars, isn't that the idea? And there's always paperwork. You've actually got a hang of how things work around here. Did you ever mock Lee in his prison cell just for a pick-me-up? Sadly that's against code. Do I still daydream about it once in a while? Well, no reason to incriminate myself. Understood. Okay, and you, my partner, Canuck. Having fun, Commander? I am. This is nice. Maybe I should get out more. You get out plenty. Maybe make sure you schedule in some fun while you're out there. Well, it's better than fending off these must have been really hard to write, because, I mean, where do you go with it? Do you go ultra flirty? It's better than fending off demons for the most part. This is called relaxing. Normal people do it all the time. Give it a try. Like, these are very, very tame. Very, what's the word? Anodyne? Is that the right word? Anemic? Okay, let's chow down one more time. Nom nom nom, whatever this is. Looks delicious. And now let's ask for the check. Oh, I could just dismount, so I could wander around, could I? Oh.
I had a great time tonight. Thanks for coming out.
The pleasure's all mine. If you ever need someone to wine and dine again, do let me know.
I had a great time tonight.
Really?
Of course. Your friends are a lot of fun. And very well dressed.
They're good people. A little eccentric, but we've all got our quirks. I feel like I can be myself around them. After the whole Lee disaster, it's been tough to feel comfortable with people. But I trust them. And I trust you.
That jerk got what he deserved, but I know it hasn't been easy for you. I'm always here for you. Always will be.
Thanks, man. Hey, you wouldn't be interested in doing this again sometime, would you?
Absolutely. Next time, how about it's just us?
That sounds fantastic. I look forward to it.
Me too.
There you go, lovely. Now, Canuck, you going to give me a peck on the cheek? Commander, I must admit, I've dined in the company of many, but you just may be the best of the... Really? Come on. Wow, that's high praise. I'm having a wonderful time too. Well, it's certainly quality over quantity when it comes to this sort of thing, and you, my friend, are very much the former. What the hell is the Ayumi dialogue like? Because, I'm sorry, but Ayumi is essentially a stranger. Well, I'm glad I stand out, I guess. Oh, Commander, you can blend in if you wanted to. You were born to turn heads and to make them roll, depending on the occasion, I suppose. Totally wasn't eavesdropping on Rama and Min, but if I was, I would say this was a success. Nice to see people happy together. Ah, it is, isn't it? How about you, Commander? How are you doing? I'm doing better. Not perfect, but things take time. They do. But you've got time and friends to spend it with. Do you think Tommy noticed I wore my best glasses? Sure, she's very observant. Oh, isn't she? That's quite good, because I think Gorik's very observant, so it's good to see you happy together. Commander, you weren't eavesdropping, were you? Me? Eavesdrop? You got me. Congrats on the second date. I knew it, but also thanks. Oh, I missed that. What was that last line? Always happy to help a friend. Nice of you to grab the check. You're a class act. Yeah, did it actually spend my gold? Oh, because I replayed... You know that is the other half of this patch, the one from 2 months ago or whatever. You know there's a J Brother person who you give 3 gold to? I actually did that twice in the pursuit of an achievement. And the second time I did it, because I did it on my first playthrough as well. You could watch it here on YouTube. I was like, I've actually spent nearly 10 gold now on just this random ass little thing that does not matter at all. So as I was thinking, if I made a mental note at that point, if I see it happens again in a story step, I'm going to actually avoid it if I can. I still think it's a really cool thing to put in the game, though. So, pretty thoughtful of Rama to set this up as a get-together, huh? Sure was. You know, he downplays it, but he's a bit of a hopeless romantic. Romantic, you say? I do say. Interesting. Okay. Oh, and we got another sneaky bit of dialogue with the waiter. Thank you. Compliments to the chef and all that. Oh, it's you. What do you want now? Thanks for tolerating us. I know our group can get a little rowdy. Complete understatement. What was that? Nothing at all. Alright then. He really didn't like us, eh? I wonder if you could do that cat thing again. Also, who are you? Lady Canda. She could have been eavesdropping, reporting us to E. So that's it. So what do we think then? What was all that? Is it just a therapy patch for the commander, or do you? I'm gonna have to play it again and dig a little bit deeper into what exactly we learnt about the weird anomaly thing and what they were saying about the demons. And the weird thing now, though, is there's no conversations with Timey, conversations with Bangar, conversations with Goric, whatever. There's nothing now. There's no trailer. There's no announcement. It's got to be coming in a few days. Dodgy time to be a Guild Wars fan, as of right now, as of this second, because we are kind of like, just like, oh, well, now what? And I reckon ArenaNet have got a couple of weeks, tops, before people start getting really restless about that. Check their tweets. Oh, there is a trailer. Wait, a trailer? A teaser? A trailer? I mean, what is it? What are we dealing with here? Restart the story instance and talk to Aurene and the other option. Well, I'm not going to do it all in one day, so don't you guys worry. Don't get your hopes high. It's a 15-second teaser. Very slight teaser, but it's still something. Barely anything. It's a little teaser. Oh my god, it sounds like this is the best thing in the world, guys. Whoa! Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, 50 minutes ago. We're celebrating the release of What Lies Within today with a little glimpse of what lies ahead. Okay, how can I download this? Is there usually a download button on Twitter? Playback speed. Copy video address. Here we go. Oh no, then that's just that. Do they not have a mirror of it anywhere? Alright, I'm just going to watch it. It's not going to appear on the thing here. I'm watching it now. In fact, here we go. You guys can get audio. This is so bad. Ready? It says a new threat emerges. Beginning summer 2023. Oh, so there's literally... Okay, it's just black. It's just screen. It's just text on a black screen. But we have a date. Summer 2023. Beginning summer 2023. So what does that mean? Beginning. Summer's very early. I was thinking Halloween Halloween at the earliest release. It's a summer release and confirmed not a fractal. Nock says so it's the end of August. You'll go as late into summer as they can. I mean, I'm fine with that. I have always and will always say that they need to take as much time as they possibly can to make the stuff good. The first half of the X-Spec. Oh, you think Guild Wars 2's birthday? Oh, that's a good point. And Guild Wars 2's birthday is, what, the 28th of August, isn't it? It's right around there. So you think the 12th, the 11th birthday? Yeah, no, you guys are right. The anniversary, I think that's a very good point. It's going to compete with Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, really? I didn't know that Larian had actually set a proper date for that. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so well, that's very minimal, though, isn't it? They're being really... Hold on. Are we really going to say that they're going to release this thing in a couple of months? Like 3 months? And with 3 months away, then they won't even put a screenshot on the teaser. I mean, it's just black. I mean, we got the golden text. We have a new font, which I've never seen associated with Guild Wars before, which is interesting. That is really, really, really minimal, isn't it? I hope that they're not fucking scrambling right now. Well, look, guys, I mean, the other thing is, I think you have different news for different days. This is a patch day, so they've got this news. They'll let people indulge in this. In a week, you might find a more substantive teaser. Or in 2 weeks, you might find a more substantive teaser. I think they can buy that. And, you know, I think anything major that happens can give you about 2 weeks. And so they weren't obligated. It's like I said the other day, when they did the big studio update, and there was that really little teaser at the bottom with the black and white, like, napkin sketch. I said to Boots, you know, it's disappointing in one way, but I just saw my Stellaris poster there again. It's disappointing in one way, but in the other way, they didn't have to do anything more than that, because they already had big news. There's news of today's patch. People will have their discussions about today's patch. And then hopefully we'll have a more prominent teaser later. I think it's very smart what they just did on Twitter there. Because like I say, people need direction. They need to know what's going on, and I think that's a very early date. Indulge in this. Indulging is a very flattering word for this patch. Well, when I say indulge, I don't mean celebrate. Indulge can mean any number that you can go to the forums and cry and whinge and throw stuff at people. You know, your words at people. You can have a tantrum. That's still indulging in the patch. There's still something happening with the game. You know. That's what I mean by indulge there. There's apparently a new jumping puzzle. Yeah, this is not the entire patch I've played here either, by the way, because we do also have new adventures. A JP, apparently, Mr. Modius just said. And some other things to do. So keep an eye out, because I will do another... The other thing I'm doing at the moment, guys, is I'm playing a shit ton of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because I'm making a mega montage of all the Paititi stuff. So there'll be stuff coming out very, very soon. And we'll see what this other stuff is. I'd like to do those adventures. What might be really cool is doing them with Boots, because Boots is all about adventures, and I think that would be really fun. So you might see I do another live video, and it's with him, or it might be a bog standard video. I don't know. What happened to FF14 on Twitch for a while back now? That will be picking up basically once Tomb Raider's done and 6 is done. That's exactly what I'm going to.
What am I going to do?
And it will be on Twitch. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it on Twitch again. Pretty sure. It's kind of between the two platforms, but yeah. And I've got stuff that's going on with that. I've been talking about it a little bit in the Spud Discord recently. Yeah, I don't know. There's more we could say about this patch here, by the way. How many people in chat have played it now? Okay, tell me if you've played it. Where did this do what you wanted it to do? Like, maybe give me an out of 10. 12. 12 is also going to finish. I promise you, 12 will finish. And I've actually been quite in the mood for it lately, but I want to do this other stuff first. So, 12 will finish, I promise. And it will be at the same standard as it started. It won't be worse. It won't be lazier. It won't be live commentary. It will be done how I originally wanted it to be done. It'll be a proper playthrough. The purple only excited you? Oh, like the purple anomaly thing? Filler patch, you didn't destroy anything too serious? Well, what about the fact that it was a filler split in half, really, and took several months? 6 out of 10 seems fair. The other thing is, you got to think about recency bias with a lot of this stuff as well, which will exaggerate people's responses. The low responses are lower than they really could be, and the high responses are higher than they will be. No Kanaxai. Yeah, basically nothing happened. Here's how I feel, guys. I think that there were actually a lot of really good little victories in that patch in terms of the smaller dialogue.
Should the ministries impose harsher crack?
In terms of like the smaller, some of the little moments were good. I think that there was a lot to read through. It was of an okay length. I think the gameplay was quite weak. The boss fight was quite weak. The tunnel run was quite weak. I think that their delivery of some of like the Jeopardy and stuff was a bit odd. I don't even fully understand really why the power of emotions worked and all that kind of stuff. But I think there were a lot of small victories there. But I think in terms of big ticket items, I think that was rubbish. I think if someone said, if End of Dragons had ended and someone said to me, all right, WP, I want your fan fiction of 2 patches. The point of these patches is to be a little bit of a filler arc before we go to the next thing. It is not setting up the next thing necessarily. But what we want to do is give the commander some resolution. We want to see the commander relax a little bit. We can have the commander flirt a bit. We can see them laugh. We can, you know, have them resolve some of their trauma. That's what the story's going to be. And it's got to be set in End of Dragons. What are we going to do, right? Give me your fan fiction of that. I reckon I could have written a much better idea in terms of big ticket stuff. I think the Jade Energy Crisis was a great thing for them to go for, but they didn't really... It was never front and center, ever. And I think I would have had it more about the Wardens. And so there was a lot of things they could have done. And the Kanaxai's not even in this. Maybe it is a setup for the mini X-Pack, and maybe we'll see that. If it is a setup... Sorry, let me rephrase that. If the subject material of the mini X-Pack is the same as this subject material, I think they could have done a better job with this release. Doing a bit of a cliffhanger. It's like they didn't want to do a cliffhanger, isn't it? It's like they deliberately said no cliffhanger. But why? Why did they deliberately say no cliffhanger? Is this supposed to just feel like a happily ever after? Is that kind of thing? But I do think there were small victories here. I think that last tea house scene was... You know, it's not totally my cup of tea, but it was funny and it was entertaining. And it felt extra. Yeah, there was some stuff to it. So, a hit or miss patch, just like the last patch was a hit or miss patch. Not Guild Wars 2's finest hours, let's be honest. But, Guild Wars 2's finest hours weren't recognised either. Like, I would say the POF to Season 4 stuff was probably its finest hour. And it was certainly not recognised at the time. Not even by yours truly. You're concerned for the mini X-Pack. If it's shorter story length than the previous X-Packs and has no build-up or follow-up, Living World. Well, it does have follow-up. It's just... it's weird to talk about, isn't it? There's a lot of... your point is that there's a lot they're going to have to cover with very little material. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. That's ever the problem with Guild Wars, isn't it? They have this wealth of incredibly cool shit that they can talk about and do with and do. And very minimal screen time for it all. You have to remember this is basically a patch without a map. The meta is just the tunnel. Yeah, I need to play that as well. So there'll be more, guys, very soon as well. Very soon. But I'm going to leave it there. My throat's sore. I don't know why, but my throat's been sore basically since I started talking. I don't know if anyone's been able to hear that. I don't know if I've been overly shouty to compensate for it. I need to get used to the fact that I can be a bit quieter into this mic, you know. But the thing is, if I just start talking normally, people are going to say, WP, why do you sound depressed? It's like, well, I'm just not shouting. And where I am now, I really do need to be a bit more quiet. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. Can I just say again, thank you to everyone who managed to find this. Again, it's unannounced. Again, I have no schedule. Again, I've been shit at putting consistent stuff up. I'm amazed and so happy anyone's still here. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you on the next one very soon. And we'll get a bit more stability. I've got so much going on IRL and stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. Tomb Raider should be pretty fun when it goes up. And yeah, and anyone who never got this live, please feel free to use the comments. I do read them relentlessly. I want to see people's takes on this, especially because most of the live comments we had here were people just experiencing it first straight up. But once you guys have finished your own playthroughs, I would really, really like to hear what everyone has to say. So thank you all. Hope you enjoy. And I'll see you very soon. I'm going to go see if I can get something to soothe my throat. Probably just a drink. Take care now, guys.